Oh, okay. We live, right? Oh man. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to the closing argument. It's good to be back. Um, Today is Thursday, November 7th, 2024. The last time we were on, America election was pending. As the world knows, America had elections, and Donald Trump is now the president-elect for the seventh president. We congratulate him. For me, that was not my choice, but that's democracy. In a democracy, you must accept there is the will of the people. So he is now the president, and unlike him, the vice president Kamala Harris conceded to him yesterday, called him, congratulated him, and assured him of a smooth transition, a smooth transfer of power on January 20th, 2025. The next 73 days from now will be the transitional process. Well, America went to the polls. We went to the polls and we elected Donald Trump. So that's why we have to live for the next 4 years. But come 2026 will be the midterm elections. Right now, the Democrats are holding on to thread because the Republicans controlling the White House and they got the Senate, and the House of Representatives now is in the air. It's a fights going on right now there. Most of the races are too close to call. But we'll see what happens. Whatever the case, this country have institutions and guardrails to protect the democracy of the country. So I'm not going to be affected directly or indirectly by President Trump's election. I mean, I'll still have a job, still live my same old life. My kids will still go to school. I'm still, my family will still survive, or some family will still live in peace. I'm not here illegally. I'm a bona fide member of this country, so I have nothing to fear but fear itself. I do know that there will be more people who will be come out of this to tell you crap. They'll be emboldened to tell you to call you names and anything, but we'll just live with it. But besides that, Henry, Ansu, what's going on, man? What's going on in Liberia? What's going on there? Ansu.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Tomalin. And let me see that. It should be afternoon on your side now. So let me see that.
Yeah,
Good afternoon.
It's 4:43, and the time is 5 hours ahead of you're 5 hours ahead of us now.
Yeah, let me say good afternoon to you and the rest of the guys there. Today it's national holiday back home here, Thanksgiving Day. So yeah, so Liberians back home here stay home to observe the day. Some people went to the church to pray. While people stay home to pray. Some people went on with a normal activities to work. What we are doing it today. We've been around since this morning. Yeah, home it's a issue of the scene. The hot soccer is still on, and yeah, we wait on to see how far this going to ready how it's going to end, because we're learning that tomorrow, which is going to be at the Friday. It's over to submit a budget. Whether it goes to the House, whether it's the Speaker going to receive it, whether it go to the Senate, we wait on to see. So it's a scene story, and we are here just finding the issue, the day-to-day activities, and Liberians here wait back to here and to get the best result for their country. I think it's what they are all waiting for. But this issue have really drawn the public attention, and I think that the people have getting to understand that it's going to cause serious problem, especially with schools in the rural area, hospitals in outside maybe the various counties. Uh, even here in Montserrat, we have hospitals back here, schools here. What becomes of the various government agencies, the government ministries, and other stuff? They have to function. You have the house into such disarrange, and with such a saga going on, it getting to Liberians now. So as I said, they waiting to hear the best or to get the best from the people who they elected in the house.
Well, today is National Thanksgiving Day in Liberia. Was an act of the legislature passed in the 1800s, declaring the first. Is this the first? The Thursday.
Thursday,
The
yeah,
first
yeah,
Thursday in November
yeah. The first Thursday.
as National Thanksgiving Day, a day that was set aside for Liberians to gather in the various places of worship to
Mhm.
give thanks to God for His bountiful blessings on our nation and its leaders and people. Um, to pray for God's continued guidance and protection over Liberia and the citizenry. So today I saw the president, his wife, the first lady, the vice president, the speaker, and his wife. They attended a Thanksgiving service at the Sun Harvest Church in Conkertown. I witnessed the program, and there were a lot of prayers and praises and worship songs. And I saw the president, the speaker was recognized as Mr. Speaker during the president's remarks. After the president spoke, I saw him going over to the speaker, shook his hands, and also shook his wife's hand. And later on, as they were leaving the church, the president, I saw the speaker and the vice president
Yeah,
meeting. They
yeah.
were talking.
Hmm.
So I even sent a message to the vice president. I asked him, I said, "What is the situation at the house?" I said, "For the fact that you are the president of the Senate, and it's going to almost for 4 weeks, almost
Hmm.
5 weeks, and there's an impasse. And as you're aware, there's no way you guys can do business in the Senate with all the House in session, because any bill that goes to the Senate come from the House or wherever the Senate, depending on where it's coming from, they must meet concurrence before going to the president's desk. And I'm still waiting to hear what they're going to say, but everybody's getting concerned, everybody getting nervous, and there's an impasse. There's no way this thing come to an end until one of the sides blink. Because the Supreme Court lifted a prohibition, calling on the lawmakers to go to session, and if they decide to remove the speaker, they got to do it the right way. You cannot be calling for his removal and then you still having sessions separate places. And for what I gather, I believe that I don't think they have the numbers to remove him. Even if they go to session, they will not get the 49 persons needed to remove him. So, and they don't want to reach that point. But a lot of discussions are ongoing. The negotiations are taking place. But at the end of the day, we pray and hope that they can come to a peaceful end, so that this can remove, they can stop and let the Liberian people business be done. They are getting paid, and the more they are not working, people are there and they're getting paid, and the country is falling into a constitutional crisis and impasse. So it's incumbent upon them to bring this to an end. But all in all, as I keep on to say, the president has to intervene. The ball is in his court. His agenda is being stalled. And like I said, the World Bank, $40 million, it needs to be ratified. The IMF loan of $200 million all need to be ratified by the legislature. And nobody will give you money until those who are responsible, who have the power of the purse, agreed and accept the fact that indeed, yes, we accept it, and we're going to take responsibility for the loan to be ratified and sent to the president's desk for signature. But I don't know how long the Liberian people would bear with them, because if people are not getting paid, the holidays around the corner. The start of the holiday in Liberia is the Thanksgiving. They already started. Thanksgiving is today, and I don't know how many people spend a Thanksgiving, how they spend a Thanksgiving today. I don't know. But there's a day that families come together, and people, unity is bring about unity, and they come together in one understanding. And but it's sad that the people are not being treated the right way, and so because of all of these things is causing problem. But we see
So
what.
two things spark out late yesterday evening at Tamari, and today one got to do with the lawmakers at the 11 lawmakers from the CDC Timor is suspended, facing a suspension, and also the latest evening we've been finding communication. There was information I think from the speaker, in which the speaker going to announce 10 vacancy in the house. It is another training news. The latest evening, in which drew the public attention. So one had to do with the suspension of this lawmaker, and I think one lawmaker, which is one Honorable Clarence guy, he was one person who said that he's not, he's no longer part of the CDC, or there's no longer correlation. So how will him facing a suspension at that time when he ran on the ticket for the correlation? Yeah, it was during the election, and after the election, each party went away. So there is no when it comes to, there's no correlation. So he won for the chairman this executive CDC, the Congress, to have him out. The correlation don't exist. So today a lot of people had an argument on discussing that during the 2023 election, he ran on the coalition ticket and he won. And after the election, despite all those political parties that formed the coalition, went by a different way. But they strongly believe that as a sitting lawmaker at that time, in which he won on the coalition ticket, so they strongly believe that every communication that goes on with Clarence guy, it goes in the information, or it goes to him as a coalition lawmaker, not maybe a LP lawmaker, but it goes to him as a coalition lawmaker, because at that time he won as a coalition lawmaker. So it was after the election before the coalition split. So it's another debate. And latest hearing, this was sparked about the speaker announcing 10 the vacancy in the house. So I don't know what is it going to 10 vacancy? Some people are wondering whether it's going to be what by election for 10 vacancy, or what's the rules that say if the speaker come up with such a decision to announce 10 vacancy, because he have to carry on his job, he have to do his work. So to call on these 10 lawmakers, because it's for the 30, but he said 10. So maybe seeking the numbers, there. So it's another debate. This even spark up, which Liberians are, they are talking about it, about the 10 vacancy to be announced by the speaker.
Yes, I saw that information, and I'm trying to make contact with the speaker's office to confirm whether that's the decision, whether that's where it's coming from, whether that information is true, is accurate, and hopefully before the show ends, I will have that information. So we are waiting it to see what we're going to find out about that. But It's interesting though, and we want to see what happens, what's going on. But whether they have that ability to do it, whether they have that authority to do it, we don't know. We'll know very soon. So we trying to still find out about that, and hopefully we will get that information. But in the meantime, we are okay. Okay, let me just quickly. People want me to do this. Let me do it quick. Okay, yesterday, the President Boyka yesterday, President Joseph Yuma Boyka has nominated additional members of government affecting the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, including foreign missions in the United States of America, United Kingdom, France, Japan, Kuwait, Qatar, Senegal, Morocco, Ghana, and Liberia permanent mission in New York.
Yeah.
Those nominated are Al Hassan Conte, Ambassador Designate, United States of America. Now, Ambassador Conte, he was in Nigeria, he was recalled, and he was made acting president of the University of Liberia. Now the president is nominating him to the U.S., to Washington, as the Liberia next ambassador. He'll be replacing Jeff Dwana, who is ambassador personally there. Genevieve Kennedy, Ambassador Designate United Kingdom. That's the Great Britain. So that means she'll be replacing who? I think who's the ambassador to Germany to Great Britain? I'll check it out. Okay, then you got Tico Yole, Ambassador Designate to France. You got Edward Appleton. Edward Appleton is the guy who took third place in the Liberian presidential elections. Yeah. He's personally the chairman of the board of NOCA. Now, Boyka is sending him to Japan as ambassador designate to Japan. Then you also have a career diplomat, Ambassador Brahima Kaba, ambassador designate to Kuwait. That's a great assignment. You have Mohammed Kane, ambassador designate to Qatar. My own friend and brother, Ali Sila, he's the one in Qatar, but now they're sending him to Senegal. Then you got the president's nephew. This guy was one of those who were charged with the former defense minister Samuka and others. Okay. Yes, he's in Maryland, right in Maryland, next door to me. Joseph Johnson, he's going to as ambassador to Morocco. Then you have Musu Jeru, ambassador destined to Ghana. And of course, my big brother, former ambassador to the UN, now he's coming back. Louis Garciman Brown. Louis Brown is now going to as ambassador destined to Liberia permanent mission in New York. So the president made his appointments, and it's all appointments are subject to confirmation by the Liberian Senate. He asked the officials to continue to demonstrate diligence, commitment, integrity, professionalism, and loyalty in service to the country. Signed, Kula Bona Nye Fofana, Presidential Press Secretary. So that's the appointments of the ambassadors. I still want to hear my boss solo. Maybe solo in the next batch, we know. But yeah, that's the situation, and we definitely from there. And then two, while we're away, the president also he made some appointments that President Boyka has nominated and appointed additional members of government affecting the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, the Ministry of National Defense, the Liberia Refugee Repatriation and Resettlement Commission, the LRRC, and the Liberian Bureau of Veterans Affairs. We have a minister designate, Madeline Ellen Dakose, Minister designate, Minister of Commerce. She'll be reporting should be replacing Amin Modad. We have Minister of National Defense. We have Mr. Merlin Daniel Dennis, Assistant Minister of Administration. The Liberian Repatriation Resettlement Commission. You know, they suspended the guys that were there for corruption. Yeah. So he appointed Mrs. Menza Massa Pauline Gray Krumah, interim Deputy Director for Administration. At the board of National Bureau of Veterans Affairs, the former defense minister, former chief of staff, Major General Daniel D. Zanga, retired. Member, AFL, yeah. The guy, man, yeah. Colonel Isaac Esquawa, retired member, AFL. Lieutenant Colonel Patrick K. Topper, retired member, AFL. Councillor Kova B. Jallah, member, Liberian National Bar Association, the Bureau of Veteran Affairs. Well, all these appointments is subject to confirmation by the Liberian Senate, where applicable. Okay, somebody telling me about Article 30, Article what?
Article 37.
37.
Yeah. Of the Constitution, yeah, it says that the Speaker honor the the Speaker.
Ansu, you're going off? Oh, the guys in studio, what happened? I don't know. Okay, while waiting for the guy to come back, let me just recognize some of our viewers. James A. Kuyate Jr., Christian Roberts, Jose Snare from Dwazon, Magibi County, Ross Rossman. Wow, the guys, I think they are going off. Oh, 1 minute. We're going off 1 minute. Let me check on them quick. Well, they haven't. This I'm informed that it's heavy weather, the thunder in Liberia right now, and so whenever the weather is bad like that, they protect the transmitter. So these guys usually um, usually protect the transmitter before it damage it. And the storm, thunder, there's no protection for this stuff, and this stuff is expensive. So that's why what's happening right now. We are off the air there, but they will let me know what's going on. So as we'll just continue. Welcome, Professor Johnny K. M. Debbie. This professor of sociology. That's my area too, buddy. But I think you're more advanced, but you're a sociologist. So. Yeah, I think you're a professor because I don't let my own to be a professor. But Johnny, welcome, man.
Yeah. Tomalin, thank you. I mean, let me welcome our viewers through the social media, the Facebook and the rest of the outlets. Unfortunately, the radio is off. I live just like few meters away from the radio station, and right now it is actually stormy around here. I don't know whether my internet will continue to be good, but the cloud is not too good, so it's a sign of kind of heavy storm and thundering going on right now. But anyway, in as much as the internet is good now, we can continue the conversation, and discuss whatever subject matter we have to discuss. And Tomali, I mean, I appreciate you calling me professor, but I'm not a professor actually. I've not reached that level yet. I've not had a teaching experience with people. It was just that the University of Kansas invited me.
So you lecture.
To share my experience, and they invited me to serve as a guest lecturer at the Kansas State University. I mean, I hope one of these days I will be offered similar opportunity by our own university in Liberia to share my practical research and sociological experience. In fact, for the matter of fact, right now I'm working on a piece of I'm working on a paper that I will share with the George Mason University. They follow what I did at Kansas, so apparently they might want to probably invite me over to share my experience and my skills I've acquired over the years at the George Mason University.
What a program for
Come again?
The program. I want to work with somebody who won't work with the Zogos, and I want a serious program. Somebody wrote a nice proposal. I was trying to do it with my one of my big brother, but he passed. The late Sam Hare.
Yes.
Yeah. Just before he passed, he told me in Liberia, he told me he was working on some kind of project of that nature for the youth. They put out, and then unfortunately for me, one day I found out my big brother, Edwin Crow, called me to tell me that Sam, we had lost Sam. I just left Liberia when I heard that, but I knew. And so hopefully I was wishing that we would work on it together though. I was interested in being part of it. Yeah, but
I mean, Sam here, even though I didn't work with him, but I worked along with his sister, Koro here.
Oh yeah, there's all my childhood people there. Koro, yeah.
Koro is my workmate, my former workmate, but we still see each other as sister and brother. Right now, we are still close. For a matter of fact, we call each other frequently. She's right now at the Ministry of Justice as a Deputy Minister for Codification.
Oh really?
Even trying to see.
Wow, that's
you don't know?
Oh yeah. But
as part of
Edwin Crow didn't tell me. Edwin Crow.
Anyway.
But
I will let her know. I will let her know tomorrow. I know. I will tomorrow. We know we speak every day. I'll call tomorrow. Let her know that Saint Timothy George, knows her family.
Yeah, my sister from Fires too. We grew up together. We're neighbors. We're neighbors. We're living in the same neighborhood in Abel Place.
So I mean, with regards to the Zogo or we call them urban youth. In 2009. I was doing some work with a professor from Yale University then. Timothy, like you guys, I've been telling you guys, since 2007 and 8, I've been doing a lot of research work and academic work with, professors from favorite universities in Western, in the West, basically the US and, US and England. So I had this professor who was doing work with, working with, we call it urban youth. So I was responsible to conduct the qualitative research, and I visited several communities where we have these. But all for us, we didn't call them Zogos. We call them an urban youth or disadvantaged youth. And I visited a lot of them, in the Pinsville block, Central Morovia. I mean, my first time somebody ever appearing on Central Street behind that police depot somewhere there, I was so afraid the money. And all the other places I've been, I didn't have fear, but the fear I got that caught in me was the kind of life I saw young people living, lying all on the floor, like no one cares for them, nobody care about them, nobody even had attention, to pay to them. Back then we did some work, but we're looking at people that were, at a moderate level, not people that were on the high cold drug, but people that were moderate that still had a chance of being uh, rehabilitated and brought back in society. And let me tell you one fun time. We had a game in Pinsville somewhere where they had this yellow building, and we're trying to test the trustworthiness and sincerity of these guys that were in the street. And this behavior game we play, uh, everyone won the game with a prize. So here's what happened: if you win $10 US, we make it $15 in your envelope. If you won $20 US, make it $25 in your envelope. But the price you won was $20 or $10. The extra we added there was to trustworthiness commitment. I will come and say, "Oh no, I won this amount, but in my envelope I have this amount." So that was a game, a behavior game. Was studying to know whether, even though the guys are in the street, but they should have some level of trustworthiness, some level of commitment, sincerity, and the rest of it. And ultimately, we had a game. It was organized. Me and this professor, Chris Bladman. If you look on the internet, you see the guy named Chris Bladman. He's a political economist, and we are still in contact. And so we're playing a game with about like 20 guys, 20 persons. I think we had like 5 females and 15 males. So we're doing a disaggregate. The female, how would the female respond? How would the males respond? So when what shocked us was 80% of everybody there show a sign of sincerity and sincerity, which means if you want $10, we added $5 in your envelope. So you will tell you come to us. Ultimately you have won the game. You want $10. Here's your envelope. Go in this booth and open your envelope and make sure that your money in there is correct. Let us know whether it's correct or not correct. Whatever is there, come and tell us back. And everybody else waiting out there, nobody. Once you walk into us, all the guys out there will not have no access to us. They will not know what's happening in there. And so you go in that booth, you come and say, "Oh, well, gee, or Bravi, and I said I want $10, but I saw $15 in my envelope." Oh." We say, "Go for you." Then you take different route. The guys out there, you're not going to interact with them. You take a different. We'll continue. We have what we call random mass selection, control and thing. And too many, out of the 20, 25 or 20%, I can get a figure correct. 80% show a sign of commitment, trustworthiness, sincerity. You understand? And we're doing it to know that if people are in the street and have the kind of behavior, then there is an opportunity to work with them, to transform them or bring them back into being good citizens or doing meaningful things. And onward, we created a business skill. We took individuals from Impinsville that were doing business. We made them a mentor. Those that we work with psychologically, prepare their mind and the rest of it. And they were interested in doing business. And the program had like $200 to start a small business. And then we ask you to work with a mentor we identify in Pinsville that will mentor you and guide you on a daily basis. But unfortunately, while I was doing that, I got another job. That was then the Color Center job. So I left that program with the guys that were there. But I was so much interested in that program. So it's good to do work with our young people that we consider as Zogos. I don't think we have lost everything out of them. They still have some capacity. They have some intelligence, skills, that we can modify and make them to be good citizens in the country. I mean, just before you file our program closed, the rule of law program closed, we're working with them on access to justice so they can know their rights, even though they are in the street. But we also think that people also should not violate them because they're already in the street. We just violate them and say that they are criminals. So we're trying to tell them, though, you have some rights under the Liberian criminal justice system, even though you are in the street, we have rights. And, with Tenefar, they have a group called, every group has a group called, I think, Field General. Every block that has a contingent of what we call Zogo, they have a leadership structure. Somebody, you won't believe it. The group you call Zogo, they are intelligent, they are organized, they are smart. We may see them as Zogos in the sense of negativity, but in their own way of doing things, they have a high quality of intelligence in them. If you're not smart, to understand them, they will even dominate you in conversation based on what they know and how they understand we have in Liberia. And look, I think it's a good thing. If anyone has interest in working with them, to transform them into being good citizens, it's not difficult. And I always say, as a sociologist, I always say, we don't have a problem yet with them because their population is not explosive yet. In my estimate, we may have maybe around one. At most, we in worst case, 10,000 Zogos across the whole Liberia. That's why I calculate, in my mind, 10,000 in the length of breadth of Liberia from Morovia to Cape Mount to Papulu and Rabosport, Lofa, Grange, everywhere around the country in my mind. So that I say plus and minus, we should be having around 10,000, a little bit over or less, of young men and women that will consider as Zogos. So if you have such number, Tomalin, that tells you that we have an opportunity to transform this group, to turn them into good citizens. You understand? Turn them into good citizens. And we have another opportunity. It may not necessarily be putting them into rehab home, treating them, whatever, right? There are a lot of things we can do to transform them and give them dignity. And they can be able to contribute to the Liberian society. But what also I see as not good for us as Liberians is we do too much of labeling. And once we label people and we put them into a category that's negative, and they find themselves in our group as they say we are like this, and we see ourselves as this, then they will form resistance behavior against the rest of society. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I see that I think that is the way they are right now. Everybody see them as negative people, as Zogos. But meanwhile, people also need them. People use them. Like in my neighborhood, I would tell people, stop doing this thing. You got garbage in your home. Identify the proper legitimate garbage, cleaning company, and they come for your garbage. But you use these boys that are running around to carry garbage. They gotta know what to do it to carry garbage because you want to get them 150 or 200, which is cheap for you. So similarly, they take the garbage from your house and come to the next man's house and you dump it right there. Like I'm one person that always visit my by that. Because I'm right, like on a mirror, almost on Dupo Road. So they go down in the neighborhood, take all the garbage from the pool below me, and when they come all the way up to the mirror, they come and dump the garbage right in front of my place. I now have to take responsibility to ask my garbage carrier person and Ojoko to so now clean the neighborhood for me and take it from me. Because if it stays there, I'm in the front. So somebody come from the US, come to visit me. As soon as you turn in from Dupo Road mirror, the first thing you see is garbage. And after garbage is my house. So that I feel like embarrassed, I feel shame that, why is the road to my house is so filthy. Sometimes I work with my children, we do cleaning up, we brush the road and do other things, but it doesn't help. I mean, I had experience one time, my brother, we did cleaning up along the road. That evening was so nice and clean. The next morning, we just call out, we met huge pile of garbage that have been brought from all of home. You see pimples, you see all kind of trash, in the place. And that also is a behavior problem for us as Liberians. If you make garbage in your home, control it and get rid of your waste in a more organized way so that it doesn't affect your neighborhood where you live in. But people will take the dirt from their homes, give to our boys to call Zogo, and they bring it right down the mirror and drop it in the mirror. Then try to bring it right in the drainage along the way. If you look now, the Somalia Jallah was built a few years ago. Why do we have drainage problem? They put the dirt from their home, bring it on the mirror and dump it right in the drainage, on the main street. And that doesn't show a good behavior as a people of Liberia. But anyway, going back to Zogos or our young people that I would call disadvantaged, I think we still have a lot of opportunities as Liberians to work with them, to improve them, and turn them into meaningful citizens, productive citizens that will even help the economy of Liberia.
That's why, but you see, all what you're saying is good, but again, it boils down to what's happening in our country today. That's where it comes from. It starts from there. Is like I said earlier on the show, the issue at the legislature, at the House, that's the issue that is taking all the time, sucking all the air in the country. It's about time that the president, everybody start to take this serious, because I tell you again, today was holiday. That's why I didn't have a session. Tuesday should be a session on November 12th, I believe, and it's an important day. And right now, I'm still trying to follow this news about the speaker saying that seats will be declared vacant. I don't know, but somebody was quoting Article 33. I read the article. Looking forward to seeing it. But at the same time, it's very serious. The CDC suspended the members, including the deputy speaker. That's, I don't know how to call it, but that was suspension there. I don't see it before and since any time, because they appear if to say that's a whole suspension like something like stage, because the minute they suspended the man wrote a love letter saying, I accept it, I will abide by all this. Give me a break. I know all that stuff. It's just, a stage, but they gotta do a better job. Okay. But it's a waste of time. The people of Liberia cannot take this too long, for longer, because nothing's happening. I've been talking to various lawmakers. Nothing's happening. And it's going to affect the country. But you see, look, the government must be happy that the citizenry, they're not the citizenry that you have in Senegal. They're not aggressive. They're not people who will get so pissed and want to act. Okay, would demand that lawmakers return to session, because honestly, it's unfair to the people. These guys are getting paid. I was told that they're about to get paid a week. They're getting paid for doing nothing, and all what they are doing to the country is they put the country in a bad situation. Okay, and one thing this thing is doing, they're exposing them. We're getting information about what's happening, about who. I think you heard the other day there's a video, a tape recording, audio. Former Speaker Nukwe, now he's senator from Agibi, discussing about budget, about money appropriated in the budget for. He accusing the other lady from Agibi, Ellen Atore, say they put money there for her and to give to her for her husband's institution, for the people to be attacking him. It's all about money, money, money. These guys, I don't know whether they really care for the country, but they're not doing the country good. But again, Liberian people are the ones, they're the ones who should be mad. We play our role, because if I know that things not happening, these guys are getting paid well. They just got 45,000 each for the brand new vehicles, and they have money for their salaries coming to them on time, and they drive it and use the citizenry. You are being used. Because what they're doing now, they're using your setting down the split. Certain people are putting the other side, some people are putting the other side, and its impact continues. But then again, when we take the president, when would the president say, okay, I want to be with the president, the speaker, the vice president, the deputy speaker, the pro tem. I want to meet with all these people there. I want to meet with them. Let's discuss it. They're running the country. They're the ones who are the leaders of the country. And if they're not coming together to talk about this, it's a problem. Okay? And I tell you this though, in 73 days, America will have a new president. And the guy that's coming to office, he's not a guy that really cares about Africa. The man, I don't think that guy talk about Africa at all. All that guy talk about America. America. Say we shouldn't get our money to people. And once if he doesn't care about your country, it's a waste of time. You guys will be difficult days ahead. Difficult days ahead. There's no joke about this. People take it for a joke. And then I see some people there, some of our friends there putting the man picture on there, they're celebrating. And they don't understand American politics.
But Tomalin, that is it.
I come in. Everybody got a right to decide, but some of the constitution happening with some people saying, oh, you got Trump Trump, they didn't put Biden government put on sanction. So they mad. Biden people did this one. Look, they should understand the American politics. It's different though. And this man, Donald Trump, he can get the man said he would. He said I would start deporting them, illegal immigrants. I come and find them and deport them. And mind you, one time about Trump don't joke. He will go after them. And then look at the funny thing about election too. They already push them into power. The Hispanics, right? And mind you, most of them, they can't. Their parents are illegal. Their parents have kids here, and the parents. I heard them interview some of them. They say they worry. You worry about your people, the one that were voting in mass, and your cousin they come and go. Your auntie there, your uncle them that are illegal here, but they had the children here. The ones who are illegal, come and send them. And for us, I get nothing. I know. I accept the results. I congratulate President Trump. I say congratulations, Mr. Trump. The election will be here. We're here for 4 years. We'll be here again. So by the end of the day, I just have our friends that are in like bro one year and saying, but then if you think so, Johnny, before you come in, let me tell you, you can be they already accusing you, say, oh, the Burger administration they engulfed with corruption, all that stuff. But guess what? You think Trump care for that thing? Trump care that you do corruption in your country? He care whether you're having problem with your speaker? He doesn't care. He even mentioned that bro in the first place. Yeah, you think he will really? There's a man who never visited Africa for the 4 years when in office. Usually, American presidents they visit Africa during that time. He pay for that. I said, I share whole country there. They are still celebrating. These boys will do what they want to do in that country. They didn't care because nobody will sanction there. Nobody will chest out there. Okay, except people in the State Department want to do other stuff, but for DT, forget it. You have to do what you want to do. But again, and American foreign policy is different. If anybody tell me how much engaged during the first Trump administration, how much engaged with Africa? Not much. So let people stop saying that thing about the foreign policy. Who told you Trump directed foreign policy? So talk about they don't change. I beg you, man. Trump, I can see that much. I see less attention given to Africa, especially Liberia. So man, I'll be wasting our time. But look, back to the issue.
Tomalin,
go ahead.
Yeah, but Tomalin, you're coming back. Why people need to understand? I mean, Liberians specifically in the brain.
Nothing. Just shut up. Don't tell me that things that you're talking.
But man, Liberian intellectuals need to understand. They have to take time to read. When Trump took over, USAID, the United States International Agency for Development across the world, their budget was slashed by I think 30%. Because Trump was on it. Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm in the International Development Society.
I'm happy you say
that is why most of the international development Americans, for that matter of fact, they are not worried about themselves. They say, Johnny, where we are worried right now. In the last regime, this main administration, slash the USAID budget by 30%, and that was a huge cut. And on a lot of activities for third world countries, Liberia included, and rest of it. So we are also wondering if imagine right now we're working on a proposal that is going to be funded by USAID. So on Friday,
American aid to Liberia country.
Yeah, I know. So my counterpart, Lele I met at the university, she and I we are trying to construct it with some basic information, and I'm responsible to collect information from Liberia that will strengthen the proposal. And yesterday we didn't have much good conversation where Johnny Love today. Let's rest because I'm wondering how we succeed with this thing. With this guy that took over this country, the last time he slashed 30%, and once it's cut, that means they had to reallocate money, and somebody they have to look at priorities that would be of relevance to the American and foreign policy, American security in terms of that. So, but that's it. So, we should expect that. I mean, that was in Trump's first term. Maybe this second term he might not do the same. Or he may do the same, or even slash more than that, and that's why. And listen to the statement: America come first. And Tomalin, let me tell you one thing, Tomalin. People may not like Trump, but for me, sometimes I think wants to tell Africa and the rest of the world that look, you leaders of your country, try to be responsible and treat your people well. Start relying on other people for giving you support. I mean, you can come for aid from America or come with tangible, real requests for aid. I mean, you can't ask for everything, Tomalin, as a father in your house. You ask for your child's school fee, you ask for your child medical bill, you ask for your child shelter, clothes to wear, everything for your child, you begging for it. Then what make you father in the home? What make you a parent? You understand? So, I mean, I'm hoping that African leaders on the continent will begin to think about, so look, we have assets here we can use. Look, let me give you one example. You have mountain in Nimba and between Nimba and Liberia in Guinea that has iron ore. We have Orogisi Mountain. We got mountain in Sierra Leone. We got mountain in Cote d'Ivoire places. What is wrong with the Marrow Union countries to establish their own steel factory here, rather than allowing some Asian company or one company come and dig the iron ore from here and ship it out of here? What is wrong? How? So if for example, Billiton, ArcelorMittal is investing $2 billion to mine to do iron ore business there. So Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire are not able to pull funds together to invest such and form a bilateral, sub-regional investment into our mineral sector that will even add value. We can mine and turn the ore into iron to build railroads, to build our infrastructure and other things, and even export. So until the Africans can decide that, look, we have assets, let's use our asset to build ourselves as a people and get away from always begging Western world, we're not going to make progress as Africa. And the more we beg out there, and I feel good that we are begging, so that means our strength our strength to be independent as a country is limited. So
No, but,
I think I think we should take Trump presidency in good faith.
no, but
I
on
mean,
a
look at the
serious,
positive part of it. Let's
on a
take it in
serious
good
note,
faith.
well, Peabody, welcome, man. Good to see you. But on a serious note, well, that's some of the only problem I got with this guy is his kind of a rhetoric, right? His rhetoric. It's like, oh, what he says that most of the time. But honestly, like you said, because the people send the money to Africa and they get me, look what happening right now in our country. You think it's fair to see 40 plus person taking $15,000 and share 15,000 each, and besides that money they share, they be sustaining themselves at the hotel and other places for all that time. But look at our national budget. Okay, all the money is being used to take care of the people that are working, the top people in the country. Look at the top 5 officials in the country. Look at the budget of the president, the vice president, the speaker, deputy speaker, the pro tem, chief justice. Look at the budget. They got a whole national pie. Okay, and the people suffering in the country. I mean, I know people that was on the show. Ben Labro, I left Labro in July. I just came back, but what happened in the country? People are struggling, But the people out there who are the leaders, they are making no effort. They're taking the money and just using it on themselves. Okay? They feel good for people to go to their homes in the morning to be begging for school fees, for medical care and so forth. Okay, the money they're spending, $15,000. You're spending that money can be do a lot in some of the cities and towns in Liberia. Johnny, you bend, you try the country. You see these things every day. But it's not fair. But yet it's still, and that's why I'm happy you mentioned it. And there'll be tough days ahead for Liberia, and especially Liberia. I told my Liberia, because Trump is not going to take money and spend American money just so I can spend it. No, he will review all the aids around that America is sending the money to, the country is sending the money to. They will review it. They will slash the usage budget, and people, there are tough days ahead. Tough days ahead. And coming a time where we're going to say, yes, we will take our own responsibility serious now. We got all the resources in the country. What they do with it? You got everyday people involving corruption. They put him on the refugee camp. They took the poor money. The guy who was making all that noise. I see that guy making noise about, the bossy guy. You're talking, calling, we are then corrupt. He went out now, boom, you involving corruption, they catch you. I mean, look what's happening. The DA, They were fighting there before for power and for what is it, money, business, all things were involved. But the guy right there booked, they did it, they started fighting. Almost killed the drug going on each other. Person had to fire them again. And it continues, it's all over the place. I mean, it's a serious thing, but I say top days ahead. They're not going to have it easy all the time. They're going to come to the time where
and
they're going to cry about it.
Yeah, just before Peabody comes in, Tomalin, you stress the point about people, comparing Liberian people with people from Senegal or other places. Look, Tomalin, until the Liberian population can have the consciousness, political consciousness, self-awareness, to know what the government is about, to understand what they call duty bearer, what the government role is in their life. Because what I'm saying to say, most people in Liberia believe that the government is there for all of them. We don't know that we are to make the government to serve us, and we are to make the government to be accountable to us. A lot of people in the country believe that when a man is a leader for them in the community, they are responsible to serve that person, feed him, feather his home, everything. So how would they have the consciousness to gather and say we want to protest against this? It takes time. It takes awareness. They have to understand this. They have to know. Other than that, money, you will talk. Look, if for us on the show, we can reference Constitution, give them the awareness about the Constitution. You have this right. You can do this as a citizen. You can do this as a citizen right. How many people in the country really understand the Liberian Constitution to know that they have a right to even question their leaders?
Johnny.
You imagine when a representative is going to his constituent in the village, for people to organize themselves to be critical of the representative or that senator, they are prepared to welcome that person with cow, with goat, with chicken, celebrate. The person come with 2 or 3 pickles with them in the town, with a lot of knock-on product, all of, food and other things, and they celebrate for 3-4 days. Yeah, the honorable here. That's the end. They don't know that when the honorable comes to them, they should be prepared to critique the honorable. We send you up there to do some work. Give us feedback on what has been happening in the legislature for the last 3 months or 6 months. No, we don't have that consciousness of people.
Johnny, people didn't come here, but Johnny, me say this. The people are aware, they know it. Liberian people, what would know too much right? You say when they know what, they know their own right. They know it. They know that. Don't let them fool you.
My brother.
They know it. The problem is, Johnny, the people allow themselves to be used by politicians. They use them. For instance, if you are planning something, somebody will just in the government will say, okay, they will go and just infiltrate that group, get them some more money, and I hold in chakla. That was happening. Look, that was happening. The chakla and honor my chakla. But they really care for themselves to say they will and they enjoy it. Okay? Until it affect them directly. But as I tell you again, they're gonna see the next coming days, coming weeks, and think, things will start taking different trend. Okay? You can't say that let people take advantage of you. The people you see the people riding these flashy cars. You watching the news, you listening to the radio, you watching the various platform, and they're telling you that your people are taking advantage of you guys. They are stealing from you. But you're still, when you see them, you're sharing them. Somebody go there sharing them. Man, some countries, they will run these guys. Look, hey man. Anyway, Peabody, you're coming though.
Hello, Tomalin. Good to see all of you guys. Johnny, good to see you, everybody. Look, Tomalin, I have just gotten to the point that I've given up on talking about Liberia's situation. I really get tired of it. It's nonsense. The people are the most unserious group of people ever in the world. They are the most people that cannot change. No plan, nothing. And they just go in there and just think that they're going to get set up. I just give up. It's so disgraceful to see our country every day going through what we see happening on the national news, what we see happening on everywhere. The lawmakers can't even maintain the country. They can't even do what it's supposed to do. It's all about fight for money. All is just money. So I don't know what will happen to Liberia. To be honest, I really don't know what's going to happen to Liberia because the fact is Liberia is not progressing. We are continue to retrogress. We're just going back and back and back. There's nothing happening. Life is not changing in that country. A lot of people are not able to have their a single meal a day. Uh, Poor drinking water, poor health facility. People are dying every day. They don't have any means of going having medical treatment thing, and while other people are just sitting there fighting with money. So Liberia is just a very very unserious country. One of the most the most unserious country in the world. You know, where you have a bunch of thieves who gather to lead. You know, it's sad. You know, I rather hope that President Barker would have done something, but I think President Barker energy to really move the country forward, it's not there. He may have the heart to do it, but he ain't got the energy to do it. So for that reason, we will see the same UP leaving. We'll see another group coming in, and we'll do the same thing. Some of us we getting old. We get old, you know. But what happened to the 15, 16-year-old kids in Liberia? What is the future of those children? They will just remain backers for the rest of their life, continuously be backing the people back, the country back, everybody back, you know. So I don't know what will become when we have something that other countries can look to us and say, you know what, I want to look to Liberia for Liberia to help us so we can move forward. Nothing. Right now we go Ghana country like Ghana now have become our America. Our people go there for sightseeing now to see tourism for tourism and other things. That's why all the Liberians, all everybody going on, they're going to Ghana for sightseeing. But you know how long it took the Ghanaians to develop the country? You know how long it took for them to even put things together for their own country to be where it is today? Nothing like that we've done, you know. So we're gonna be in it for a long haul. You know, I don't have confidence in none of the leaders in that country. I don't at all. I don't have a single confidence because it's all about money. Look at how many people been sanctioned today and are still in government heading top committees. Look at Alex Tyler. Look at Mike Gill. Look at what the other guy named Nukwe. Look at Albert Cheatham. They're all heading top committee after being sanctioned and being accused of stealing that country. You think anything will come out of Liberia? I don't see it at this time. Maybe in the long run, but I don't see it at this time. Alex Jones, good to see you, my man. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Can you guys hear me?
It's been a while. Yes.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here. Johnny, how are you?
I'm cool.
All right, good. Chief Tomalin, how are you doing? Is he there? All right.
Tomalin is recovering from the election result. He's recovering.
Oh my God! I told you guys, you're too listening. You know, we're bad. They're with a political analysis. If they are the ones who are predicting the next election, then God help the people that will listen to them because they wrong by everything. But anyways, it's great to be here. Sorry guys, I took a little sabbatical because I had to take care of some projects, but I'm back and look forward to coming on more often. I've been, watching here and there. But I would say, Dr. Peabody, don't give up. Hope it's on its way. Liberia will emerge. It's usually darkest before dawn. The people had to go through this. They had to be convinced that the players, the actors, were completely useless. And I think this one is a wake up call for them. So they'll have another chance in 2029. And this time around, hopefully, they'll make the right decision. There are lots of good Liberians. Let me make it very clear. Liberians are some of the most knowledgeable, educated, competent people working all around the globe. And also honest people too. But if you if you go in the trash can where you expect to get dirt. So what's happening is not unexpected. You keep recycling, you keep going back in the trash can, picking up the same people, putting them into position. So hopefully in 2029 we'll get a clean sweep. And whether in the legislature, we have new leadership in Liberia, different leadership. And that's our message. But I think Liberia will emerge as one of the greatest countries in West Africa over the next decade.
I'm looking forward to
Because,
that.
because after they stole everything, Dr. Peabody, they now already mortgaged all the iron. They already gotten into all the debt they can get into. So it would take real minds now, innovative minds, because there's nothing else to see. You can barely pay, you barely can generate enough revenue to pay the people in the government. So there's nothing soon by the next year, the end of next year, 2 years from now, the country is completely bankrupted. So that's when you need real people who will come up with real capitalist ideas, manufacturing, innovation to generate revenue, because the people who are there, they are only there to take. But once everything is gone, and that's what happened in Ghana in the 70s, it happened in Burkina Faso before Thomas Sankara came. So usually they would take all the spoils, and then there's nothing else in government, because you'll be working in government, still money, get salary. So why would you want to work there? That's when real leadership will come and fix the country. I totally believe that.
Yeah, we'll see what will happen, but we're very far from it. We don't know what it's going to be like. The last going to a month now, we have had the legislature on break. They're taking money and they're going back and forth. What they're doing or what they're not doing, or Alex, I want you to chime in. What's going on in the legislature right now? I want you to chime in there.
Well, I mean, my views have been the same. I don't really, I did not expect, if you guys, can be my witness. 8 months ago, I told you this government is going to be the most useless government, and not just the executive, including the legislators, the Senate. I mean, I was screaming to the top of the branches. It's going to be chaos. They are going to do nothing but enrich themselves. And so why I'm not surprised. This is just the beginning. They have no leadership. The parties, unfortunately, in Liberia are just, gangster. They're just there for themselves. They don't represent any local people. And it's just unfortunate that our people, are ignorant to that fact. They're ignorant of the fact that, these are not people, even representatives. Go into different districts, right? What has your representative done to improve your area center? Show me one line in the budget where people can say a young person, child, or a mother, single mother, or older person can say, the government is providing this, this, and this. Yes, they're in the budget. And that's been like that since early. The whole counties in Liberia sometimes get 400,000, and are usually recurrent that pay payroll. No program, no money for investment. Well, how you can run a country with no investment into your community, no investment into the cities around Liberia? So it's a complete chaos. It's like what you call Mogadishu. So that's the problem. The whole system is rotting, and unless we get fresh leaders, new leaders, people who have the backbone, and really, and I know people will be surprised, but I support Donald Trump. Because you need that kind of leader to straighten things up, to straighten people.
Yeah.
You need a leader who can stand up for what they believe in,
Yes.
who is not afraid to say what is right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I support him, And I think he'll do great for America. The economy will improve. They'll focus on building the infrastructures in America. So that's what you need in Liberia. You need a kind of leader. You don't need no diplomat. Burger is a diplomat.
Yeah.
You need somebody who will go there and kick butt, period. End corruption, put people in jail, and no friendship, period. No ride, long convoy, and traveling all around the world for nothing with plastic bags and begging. A leader that will sit in the country and fix things one at a time. Go to the health sector, fix it. Make sure every community has a food-free health care center that will give people pre-existing conditions and preventative care. Check people blood pressure. Make sure they're different. The children a president who will be there, a president who will be cleaning all the streets. Will say this Saturday here, everybody in different communities, myself coming down on the marshal, and we're gonna clean this place there and make sure it's clean. We need a president who will go to the ministry, ministry by ministry, look at the books. What's going on here? What have you accomplished last month? And you can't say anything, all right, you fire. New set of people coming. 3 months. That's it. And that's what Jerry Rawlings did. That's what the guy in Tanzania did. Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara refused to even put his air conditioner on. Okay. Because he felt that was something. If you look at this man's achievement in 3 years' time, all right, all the things you talk about, women's rights, vaccination, planting trees, all right, equal opportunity. That thing was in the 80s. The world did looking at it like something new. So they have those kinds of people, and we do need a decentralized government. Every district, every city needs to elect their own people. The budget needs to be decentralized, where every district get their own budget. They collect the revenue for the local taxes from business people, and they're responsible. So that way, if you don't manage it well, good for you. That's the direction we have.
Johnny, coming. Let's talk about. I know you and too many have talked a lot of stuff prior to me coming on, talking about what's been happening or what's going on in the country. And you guys talk about the American election as well. But what do you see like bro going, Jenny? What do you see even with this whole legislature saga? What do you see like bro going? Where are we going?
You know, brother Peabody, when this whole issue started with the legislature, I condemned the whole process. Because my condemnation comes from the background that we are already a struggling country. Rather than focusing on what to do to review our budget, to see how our national budget will impact the life of the people in this, we are wasting time discussing leadership crisis. And in fact, we create our own leadership crisis in the legislature. So we've gone almost like 2-3 weeks or 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And like I told you guys in previous discussion, I want to see what will be the direction of this 2025 fiscal year budget. It is this 2025 fiscal year budget that I will be using to determine whether whether we're making progress or we are done for the next 4 or 5 years. You understand? Mm-hmm. I want to see how the agenda of this current regime will show its face or appear in the budget. I want to see how the arrest will see itself in the budget of 2025. So, I mean, our deputies, I don't think they're doing well for the country by creating this crisis. I don't think this crisis is necessary. I don't think it has any benefit to Liberian people. But however, that house is a house of politics. And, like we always discuss here, your leaders are the direct representation or reflection of society.
Yep.
This going election we had was not short of good candidates. But the election was so noisy that electors themselves did not have interest in even listening to the candidates, following up what they're saying, and give how they will provide solutions to some of the problems. All we argue on in the going election was CDC versus UP.
Yep.
You understand? That was the noise, and the whole time was noisy. And we can debate this thing over and over. What the CDC said they would do for Liberia in that election, did they present any real agenda to Liberian people?
No.
For election? What did the UP tell Liberian people? Did they give any real thing besides saying arrest? Did they even tell us that this is the problem we see and this is the solution we see to the problem? But because the population was politically charged to the extent that one group wanted to get CDC out and one group said CDC would stay. So all other candidates that were in the election, that were bringing solutions, that were discussing the problems to the Liberian people, those candidates did not have the attention of the majority of the people in this country. So I'm hoping and thinking that in the next 3, 4, 5 years, the Liberian people will begin to rethink put themselves into a form of listening, analyzing, and knowing the problems. I believe election should you be, if your voting should be about your condition you live in. You should be voting based on your current condition. Do you want the condition you live in to continue like this, or do you want to improve? Now, if you know your condition you are currently living in, and you want to make progress, then you know how to listen to the candidates that will be speaking to you about seeking your vote, and knowing how they will be presenting their message to you, and see whether their message is going to impact your life. And politics is a natural phenomenon, whether it's in America or anywhere. Politics are politics. What happened in America recently is the same thing with politics in Liberia. The Americans, because of their consciousness, they were listening to their candidates, and they knew what they wanted. That's how they voted for Trump. Can you imagine the whole America one almost red? If you look at the map of America, it was almost entirely red. That means the electors were listening to the campaign team of the Democrat, listening to the campaign team of the Republicans, and resonated with people based on their current condition they're living in America. You guys are all there, you know. Most people voted in America based on their current condition. They live in America.
Half of the country said the country on the wrong direction, so that they voted the way they so that, I mean, that's all you say is true.
So coming back to Liberia, our Liberian people, all of us here, all of us included into it, we need to sit down, reflect, do some reflection. Are we satisfied with the brother we have today? That's collective. Individually, are you satisfied with the way you live today? Are you satisfied that your child go to school and come back, the child cannot write a paragraph, the child is in 11th grade?
Apparently,
are you satisfied with that condition?
Apparently, they're satisfied, because if you're not satisfied, they will react to the situation in the country. I'm surprised that even my friend and brother Alex Chuchu Jones, good to see you again. But I'm surprised that Alex Chuchu Jones, who have been one of the vocal guy, the whole since last 5 weeks, the speaker impasse, removal impasse, he's been silent. I'm seeing writing nothing. But apparently, Alex Jones enjoys happening in Liberia. He's saying nothing. He just come here and throw you. He talk about a Trump Sharia. You're saying that Trump is making a fire appointment. The man can be manager. He just put on as his chief of staff, Susie Wiles. You know, political interest. Look, the reality is that our people, if we're really hungry for something, we'll get it. We're not hungry for it. On a serious note, look, for the last 18 years, right, Liberia have been ruled by two parties. Okay. The people had a choice to make their choice. They wanted the other party again. Okay, now things happening. We're going to the 11th month, and still things have not. I mean, you can't see what's happening in the country. What's going on? The first thing is that I said, okay, they will do audit. All the former official government will go after them. All I want to that Vlana. All that heavy that Jallah October raining heavy. Oh, heavy morale. All I want drop. Now, the culture of impunity will continue to permeate in our society. I repeat, the culture of impunity will continue to permeate in our Liberian society. Once the culture of impunity exists, we're not going to go nowhere. Okay? Right now, I was talking to somebody today. I was talking to the person in Liberia, and I was saying, what hope we got for 2020 or 29? Then I called Ellis Jones in. I said, Ellis Jones, if I said to me about Ellis Jones got we hear him talking right now. He talking anything about what happened in the country. He ain't thinking about when he made 5 visits to Liberia, said at least to engage the people to say something. But you know, everybody's saying that. But right now, it's a serious thing. You and I will sit here tonight. You know what happened in 2029. Right now, you know who will be the active players they involved. But I can tell you again, what I saw Boga today, Papa will run. I saw Papa at the church service today. He looking so nice. He had nice leg khaki suit. He dressed up. Papa walking quiet. I mean, no hat on his head. He was moving. Papa will run. Papa initially you were saying I will never go for one time, but right now, where I see things, Papa will run. If everything well, he will run. And mind you, the result come out again. Now some people saying that, oh, since Trump won, the trainer will go all over Africa now. Everybody want to do the same too now. If you are first time president, you want to run two again. Everybody want to run two now. They say, oh, He said George Weah will come back, he will win again too. Come back, he will win election 2029. Okay, and so forth. Everybody's saying it now. But again, if the Liberian people want to really change the country, the power is in their hands. They got their own power, they got their own destiny. But we're not ready. Just imagine if you think if that was some serious country, what happening at the capital there for the last 5 weeks? Then when the people come in, they stand in line, they cheering them. My man, some people will not let you will not even drive your car. They will start stealing your car, run after you guys. I mean, you stay taking the country hostage for the last 5 weeks. Nothing happening. Eh? But the people that are going to work and they play games now. The press are getting involved in that too. The citizens are getting involved too now, taking sides now, and they playing it. Okay, if Johnny is a lawmaker and I on Johnny scholarship or I bet on Johnny, I go on social media. I will write in favor, support the side Johnny on. That's what happening right now. Okay, and what about the simple thing is that for me, my position, I always say the law is the law, right? You want to remove the speaker, go to session, put a petition on the floor. If there's a speaker, you have to recuse yourself as presiding officer. He will step aside, somebody resign. The people who call us said majority black present a petition, they put on the floor for discussion. If the speaker will defend himself, after counter arguments, they'll take it to a vote. You didn't get 49, Kufa remains speaker. That thing is put out the window. But that's the impasse they got, their fear. You will not get it 49. So we'll keep on holding the country hostage. And the people too, allow it to happen. Right now, I've not seen no leading civil society people in the country now. Back in the days when we were growing up, when they say Tony, they talk about Ellen, Baga Matthew. They were people who were the voice of the people for the people. Okay, Ellen Johnny Sirleaf. I mean, that old man, forget it. Old man, they did that. Don't free the old man from Bella Yada. They asked the woman. I try to get that woman credit. They asked the woman. They said, "How do you feel being released today?" They must say, "I feel more committed for the fight for democracy and human rights in our country." Think she was scared? No. She said, "I will fight more." But today in Liberia, man, you get compromised so quick. But Ellis Jones, when are you going to speak up? When are you going to talk something? When are you going to write? Your answer you're writing for a long time. What happened?
Listen. So let me address a couple of things you said, Timothy. First of all, I've spoken enough. I can hear you.
The president crisis. You haven't spoken the president crisis.
First of all, I've spoken everything I had to say. I've laid out my plan to Liberia for Liberians.
Where position on the president crisis in Liberia right now? Where position?
My position is a dysfunctional group.
Yeah, but so what something got to happen. What's the position right now?
I don't care what happens. The people voted for these people, and that's their business. I have no business in that.
Oh, but then you want to run for president, and you say you got no business in that?
Well, okay. So what you want me to do? Take one side, the other? If they're all of them, right? From the phonetic forward to the Thomas Fala, in my view, which I've stated that all these people, are useless. So what do you want me to say? Pick one person?
No, answer takes that, but say something. How do the impasse end? What's gonna happen?
It doesn't end. This is just, like I said, you guys are not listening to my analysis. You guys are not listening to me. You haven't read what I've said. Okay? So let me lay out to the Liberian people. Unfortunately, your decision will cost you for the next 4 years. That would be the time you will sow such, and the next time you get in a voting booth, you will make a choice for your life and your children. There is nothing that's going to happen positively in Liberia in the next 4 years. Okay? You can bring Moses back, from the dead. Nothing is going to happen positively for you because the people you elected, the people you supported, all right, they are incapable, they are incompetent, and they're corrupt. That's the bottom line. So the only choice you have, the only hope you have is in 2029, before 2029, mobilize your community and identify new people that we can work with and prepare for elections in 2029 to see what happens. But if you expect whether political power stays or leaves, what's going to change in Liberia? He's been in the House of Representatives for how long? You were deputy speaker for 6 years on Guar. Show me the Liberian ordinary citizen that lives improved. Show me the indicator that made life better in Liberia. Show me the poverty rate that went down in Liberia. So,
Yeah, but
I'm not interested in that.
I agree with all that, but you think there's a right way to removing it? Is you support the way they're doing it? Is that the right way to remove it?
There's no, there's to break it down for you, right? There's a parable that says there is no honor among thieves. All right. If somebody can and see your TV, right, and that person, somebody else will see his TV, you can't say, oh, only the first person who stole. In my opinion, and I've said this repeatedly, the Liberian legislature and Senate has robbed Liberia. They are very corrupt. Every last one of them. Look at it. But I am not the only person who said it. Representative of Bealded been on the show many times, right? All they've done is just taking the government, borrow money, and pocketing themselves. It goes back to the thing, less or two evil thing, right? You pick less or two evil. Okay, whether you pick Weir or you pick Porka, nothing is going to improve in Liberia. You've seen it. And I pray George Weir enter the race and Porka. It would be an injustice to me if they don't enter the race because I want to confront them in this election that's coming up. And this election that's coming up, there will be debate. So they better start practicing now. That thing in the last election where you get people talking for you.
You get forced down with debate. That one is probably.
Trust me. When I'm done, they will be running to come to debate. they will be running to come to debate. Because first of all, I see the people they send. First of all, I'm going to eliminate all of them and destroy them. So they will be begging for their lives to come debate. I got a plan, and I told you I will be in Liberia next year, living in Liberia. I will be there teaching high schools because I believe that the young kids in Liberia, they need fundamental, they need to learn how to speak, how to write, how to read. They need to learn critical thinking. So I'm retired in the United States. In next year, I will be moving to Liberia permanently, and I will be teaching public high schools around the country. Literature, English, critical thinking, and things like that. I've already said that. There's nothing else to say.
Free of charge? Free of charge?
Free of charge. I'm not going to charge. And like I said, I'm volunteering my time. The rest of my time, 2025, 2026, 2027, I will be in Liberia, living in Liberia, teaching in a high school that wants me to come, and I will teach, I will tutor, I will do everything to help the young people. I've made that commitment. It's recorded. So what do you want me to say? I mean, now I'm enjoying my time and preparing, and my campaign is active. I have all my policies. We have our people. We've been in discussion. So there's nothing to, I'm playing golf, basically, waiting for 2029.
His Excellency Chuchu Alex Jones, Liberia's presidential hopeful 2029. Johnny, don't think about
but I mean, Tomalin.
Yeah.
Tomalin, this is good for Liberia. And like I always say, I have a lot of interest in generational leadership, generational change. Let's look at population of Liberia. All the young people, all those that were born in 2003 when the war ended, but now they are around 20 plus years old. Young people that post-war Liberians, post-war children. So what were they born into? What have they experienced over the last 20 years in the war ended? The way Liberia look like is what they know. Liberia we have today is what they know to be Liberia. So they can hear from their parents, oh yeah, no more day before the war, pre-war. But they were born into a Liberia that is today that they have. And they need to have their own leadership taking it forward. The problems they know how to respond to, it is only they themselves that must provide their own leadership. So I encourage my brother Chuchu, as young as he is, not as young like 20, 30-year-old man, but in the generational wise, these are the people that are around the world living today. Most of the corporate agencies we got around the world are led by people of Chuchu age group, and all of us here. Not people that are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. They got young men, women in their early 30s, Eddie Fortes that are managing multi-million-dollar corporations around the world. Leaders. So I will encourage more young Liberian people to get involved with Liberian politics. Maybe it will help to shape, the political future of Liberia. Because it will keep, and one thing I would tell my people, man, I said we got to make our own hero. There's a parable in Loma. They say the knife that you find and the knife that you make, which one do you appreciate? You understand? You were walking by the road, you found a knife, but you make your own knife in the blacksmith shop. Those two items, which one do you really appreciate? Which one do you really cherish to yourself? For us in Lofa, the one we make from the blacksmith shop for ourselves is one that we can protect. We let go. It is us that make it. We put our energy to it to develop that, to make that knife, to use it, and we'll be very careful how we use it and make sure that it's useful for us. What you found, you didn't put effort. Not you make it. So how do you really appreciate it? So this to say, like the today generation of Liberian politicians, the young people, the age group of 40 and above, between 40 to 40 to 60, that group of young people or population, they have to make their own leaders. This generation must make their own leader. It won't depend on those people that are in their 70s and 80s to be leader for you. You're wasting your time. So, my brother Chuchu, I encourage you. I'm hoping that when you come down, we meet and see we can form collaboration to form a strong team, a strong, formidable team that will be out there in every nook and corner of this country. Like I always say, we need to overhaul Liberian society to understand what politics is, what governance is about. If we don't do that and we wait on the 2029 election, I'm afraid we'll not see anything. We need to work with, like I like you saying, go to the school, go to various high schools around the country. And in a few years back, I heard once in the southeast, all the schools in the southeast had no teacher for the sciences. In the modern day, when science is the way forward for every country, then our physics teachers we had no physics teacher, no chemistry, no biology, no math teacher in other high schools a few years back. So how do you expect guys to even be innovative? Which high school in Liberia has an innovative laboratory? Look, I always reference it. When I was in Bontown School in Bomas.
I heard yesterday the president launched a program. Okay.
I heard about that. Computer program business in all the schools.
I want to find out this. Choose you and your guys can weigh in. The program with the U.S. government, I think they're giving the Liberian government $25 million loan. Now, for 250 Liberians to come to the States, and they will be at various universities. They will get on scholarship, their boarding paid for, everything paid for them. And after their studies, they work in the U.S. I think for a year or two, and then they return to Liberia. Okay, some Liberians are saying that those that came during early time on a similar program, they didn't return to the country. Some people are saying instead they should not send Liberians should not go for that opportunity. But for me, I believe that 250 Liberians to come and study in the U.S. and then they return to the country. I mean, I think it's good for the country though, that it will help, provided they do it in the right way, that will make them go back, because they're not going to hold their passports the way they do in China and other places. Then they come, they learn on the agreement that okay, after we finish learning in the U.S. on a scholarship, we return to Liberia to contribute our quota to the country. But what do you guys think about it? You think it's something good? Something good is something that the Liberian government should pursue and send 250 Liberians to the U.S. for studies, and then after the studies, they go back to the country?
Well, let me chime in on that before you come in, Johnny. First of all, let me just make it clear. For any young person in Liberia that is going to get such an opportunity, it's a great thing. I'm not going to sit here to say that, if the U.S. government is offering scholarship or Chinese government for a young person to take advantage of it. Yes, other people did it. It's never returned. That previous programs have not really helped the country. But bankers can be choosers. The U.S. government, that's what it can give the country for young people to come and educate themselves. The more educated people you have, especially in technology, the better. So I can criticize that, and I will be happy for some of them, and I will encourage them to be a part of it. Now, having said that, as far as things turning around in Liberia, okay, uh, even if you send 10,000 people to America today to go to any school, the benefit is not going to be achieved. Let's say everything went well, where they came, they got educated, and they went back home for another 10 years. You know, bachelor in 2 years, master's another 2 years before you even get work experience. You need 2 to 3 years. So, you're not going to. It's not an immediate thing that's going to help the country develop. Secondly, There are lots of Liberians who are in IT, including myself. I mean, I worked as an IT consultant. I still do consult in IT business. So there's lots of IT people who are willing to offer services to the country because you do need technological, leapfrog in Liberia. You can't do anything with all because the road project we know is bad, and technology will just solve a lot of problems. In terms of you talk about salary, efficiency, fighting corruption, health, technology, even education. You know, uh, for the life of me, I can't think why in this day and age, students in high schools in Liberia and schools still using pen and paper. Everybody should have a tablet with all the tablet you can get for $75, and all your lessons should be right on it, and you can write and do whatever. So there should be no pen and paper anymore in Nigerian schools or hospitals. It's so totally easy to set up those systems, and it's cheaper. Everything about it. Every time school is opening, people gotta go buy copybook and pencil for kids. You buy a tablet, that kid can use the tablet for school. They can use it for entertainment. They can use it for research. One tablet. So those are things where I would be working with other people to try to get implemented in some of the schools where everything will be on a tablet, and but you need to utilize the current people you have. Bring them. Give them the opportunity to help reform some of the current ministries. The activities are there, cost cutting and things like that. And I said it. I mean, I will help the government if they ask me to make some process improvements, uh, or any government for that matter in Liberia. But that's one of the problems that you know. Look at how long it takes to do a business registration in Liberia. We sung this song so many times. Okay. Uh, like everything today, you got internet service, you got people on Facebook and everything. We using this service now. People listening to all around the country. So you don't have to be present in Liberia to be effective or efficient. So you should utilize technology. I intend to change the Ministry of Information to a Ministry of Technology so that we focus on technology in Liberia to help us, what in the healthcare area.
Paying your bills on time raises your credit score, right?
But I don't think it's going to make any dent. The problem is economic in Liberia, jobs, okay, industry, and corruption. You got to tackle those three things, on day one. And you got to give subsidies to people to start to live, because if a man is not making any money, then he can get bribes. He can get money from one of your legislators to go to the legislator and cause trouble. So, I also introduced in my policy that those who are in school and those who are, around the country who want to get into small business, there will be a cash transfer monthly, $50 to $100. And I told people how to do it, and that would be on day one. I want money to circulate. I don't want to just be part of the top elite people. So let the people enjoy some of the food of their soil. Let them, get some benefit to things. So we have our policy. I think you've seen most of it. Nothing has changed. We are the most ready campaign you can think of. Our campaign never ended. It will not end. It will continue. We'll continue to speak and help solve problems as we go along. So I think that's the hope for Liberia. And I'm very confident, Tomalin, that I will be the next president of Liberia. So I'm preparing and
optimism. I love the optimism. I love it. And look, anything can happen. If what we just saw in this country happened, it can happen. The landslide victory for somebody who was impeached twice, with how many fell on these charges and everything the man said. The man got elected with a commanding mandate. And I mean, what you can say? Go, you can't say nothing but anybody nowadays because anything is possible. So right now, I say nothing because with all what happened, I mean, so words I can't even talk about my.
For Tomalin, forget America. Forget America. Look at what happened in Senegal. The president of Senegal was in jail for 1 month. I mean, 1 month before election and came and won the election.
I was suddenly trading the internet. One guy they called Bataza and Banga for Equatorial Guinea. He video trending now. Now that guy jump up tomorrow. That guy can become president of Equatorial Guinea tomorrow. And trust me, that man he become president of Equatorial Guinea tomorrow. So anything happening in the world. The world is a crazy place, buddy. Anything
I don't know about that.
You think so? I beg you, man. That man tomorrow. That man announced he's running for president of Equatorial Guinea. People will vote for him. Trust me. Right now, I seen videos now going around praising the guy, talking all kind of crap. So what can happen? My man, look, anything happening like bro. So in the world right now, look. That's why I can't overlook you. I will not overlook you. I will not disrespect you. I will not tell you say, Elder June, move on there. I will not say so because Elder June, who knows? You could be that dark horse, that surprise package that bro been looking for. You go tomorrow, you're right. You move like bro next year. Everybody say, this guy that coming, new guy coming in the country. The guy is making headways. Anything can happen. Somebody will say, well, when I try UP, when I try CDC, let's try somebody new. Who knows? Anything can happen. So nowadays, you cannot take nothing for granted. Nothing you take for granted. So I'm not. But I want the people to you see what you see Jallah? All the women will vote for Bataza and Banga. What he's saying? All the women will vote for him, brother Tomalin. You see, the mayor is that guy. He just missed the mail. He said they put vote for the man. So that life looking. They're looking. So I can't follow nobody. But in the meantime, I want for the people to take part in the show. Because we got a few more minutes here. They can call. My number is I don't know how to put the number of my guys down here. They storm in Liberia and break the guys down away. But if you can call 856-676-5136, I will take you in. We'll take your call. But let's be discussing. But I'm telling you, Ellis Jones, you got a great plan.
No, but as much as Trump won the election, let us not understate what Trump did for this country. Okay. So it's not like anybody can yet jump up and win election. Trump is no anybody. Trump is a fighter. He's one of the most successful businessmen today in America. He was former president. So you know, Alex is no ordinary person that just jumped up yesterday and say, "Oh, I won't vote for president because I saw Trump." We ran a very effective campaign, and there were things that made me hold back. Okay, in 2023, I was prepared to go, but one is you have to listen to the people. The people wanted to give Walker a chance. They wanted Walker. If I would have went to Liberia and I would have gone to every house in Liberia, okay? If Angel Gabriel would have come down from heaven and tell Liberian people, say, Alex Jones can transform this country, the people would have said, but Walker. And after I did my analysis, you know, it's like, you know, sometimes that you know, let me give a practical analysis. When a woman won't leave you, I don't care what you can do. You can buy her this, you can buy her that. When she makes up her mind she wants to go, she's gonna go. So it was good that we held back. We gave people a chance, you know, to show that, listen, this is not about power. This is for the betterment of the country. that was one of the reasons. And the second reason, people wanted me to live in Liberia, and that was a very legitimate reason. Running, coming, yes, I have a clear understanding of what's going on and how to fix the economy, but I need to live there. I need to, get on the keke and see what the keke drivers and the local people and the people in the villages. I need to understand them. I need to go to a tire shop. I need to be there. So I made a decision that I will be moving there. Thank God Sylvester is here, so he can write it down, circle it. Alice Jones will be retiring next year. Will be moving to Liberia to live. So that question that's solved, right? That was the biggest thing where people had issue with. So all their mouths to be kept quiet. Generally, we had Trump shut all the people's mouths. That's what's gonna happen and next year.
Welcome the Honorable Sylvester Pewee. But a lot's gonna happen though on the next couple of years from now. Right now, and Liberia will be part of that equation. I don't know what will happen, but a lot's gonna happen. There will be some major shift in our political landscape in our country. I foresee it in the next few months from now. There will be a major shift that will change the trajectory of of that country political climate, where we're heading. Because just imagine this is not even a year, and all the things I'm doing at the capital building is all about power. That's all. It's all about power. That's happening in Liberia now, about power. All about power, and people are fighting for power. Look, they think they got power. Look, I've gotten closer to power where people that are in power. I saw it with my own eyes. It's not something to play with, though. It's people you take it for a joke, but people will be powerful. You see, like for instance, take for example what happened. See, like I got Elon Musk. That guy is about to get 15. He's gonna get rich more than ever before. He got all investment in China, and he gonna tell China, "Look, don't have more China to my bakery, man. I got too much money in that place. Investment there. Let's chill China a little bit." But at the end of the day, that politics. You see, what Trump victory means, all the people that build on the the country, they will get more richer because of Trump election. They're gonna benefit. But in Liberia, that country, I don't know, but I'm afraid that until there's a major political shift in that country, things not going to get easy and better anytime. Because the people are not ready. You look at the country. The last election, a few months ago, we had over 17 political parties. Election over now, they're all gone. They're all gone away. Off left the stage. Only party you're talking now, I think I see CDC, ANC, so far talking. The party forget. I think they regrouping and so forth. But other parties then, and even my man joining party too. Joining party said, "I'll see you again." All the parties then, and Councillor Gongloe, he's been talking. I give him credit for that. He's been one of the vocal opposition leaders so far. I mean, Councillor Gongloe. Okay, that's a good man. But tomorrow, Messi running, they'll make fun of the man. See? And that's a man who his track record, people can see it. It's a decent man, But again, tomorrow, Messi running will say, "Oh, my man," it will give some excuse why we can support him. So, but Pewee, you want to give your perspective on the situation, the impasse that's still at the Capitol building, and all the things that are happening around us, and what you foresee in the next coming weeks and months in Liberia. But guys, you can start. If you want to call, you can call.
Yes.
Call.
I think it is quite unfortunate. But I listened to my dear brother just now about his presidential ambition or what he had been nursing, and now he's trying to rebuild that process. I thought he left the race because he was ill prepared. It was not because the Liberian Party made up their mind. He would have said built a case to counter Bouaka had he focused on the process of going back. I have encouraged him then. I told Alex, "Hey, listen, you got to join us." I was taking a flight back to the country. I said, "Alex, try to get a ticket. Join us to come to the country. We will give you our service pro bono, absolutely pro bono." I have committed this to him. But Alex could let me afford to get a ticket. to go to the country. It was very important. It was very. No, I felt very discouraged about the process.
You talking about Ellis Jones?
Ellis Jones. We had conversation about this process. I said, listen, I listened to your platform. You sound very convincing in this process, but you will have to go to the country and come through the 15 political subdivision by our country. This process, I have been into politics. I have spent a lot of time combing across the country and try. The best thing you can do is to move to the country. You can sit here and be in Des Moines. So then you are in Des Moines smoking Cohiba cigar and believe that you're going to be the next president of our country. You know, this is the kind of line. He will call me and say, oh man, I'm dreaming of this. I said, no, listen, this is about time. That would be mirage. You will have to move on the ground and do that. But then he didn't do it. As far as the reason why I won the election, he listened to me. He listened to me. Quite frankly, I probably will make some change. And listen, I believe in generational promotion. It's very important for us to look at our own generation process and try to encourage them to build a case. But if you come in a haphazard or half-baked manner, this is very counterproductive. And it's important that we try to not only potentially navigate those lines that we think we can cultivate the possibility of trying to rescue our democracy, rescue our people, because the country needs for very strategic intervention in terms of leadership. We need people with all the kind of a thought processes, qualification, competence, and we intersplash that with the knowledge of skills and the rest of that, willing to lead. I was made kind of a pitch to him, but he didn't yield to me then. Now he's coming, he said he's packing up to go to the country. Let me say to you, bravo on that decision to go back to the country. Trust me, we all going to move in, we're going to support your bid, but we hope you're not going to let us down again and quadruplate in no time, and then you do this thing. We hope that won't happen again. But quickly back to the issue of the process unfolding in the country. I would think that it is about time that both sides will be very decisive to move this issue forward. With the way the situation are unfolding, I would think this is going to be a very difficult battle for the speaker. And I'm beginning to be very frank here. And now you won't force, because the whole thing that is unfolding, the speaker is a lawyer, and I expected, and what came out of the Supreme Court, I even listened to the spokesperson of the Supreme Court. The reason why the Justice in Chamber lifted the prohibition was that the Supreme Court, the speaker went and was saying that the majority bloc was trying to remove the speaker illegally. And then the Justice in Chambers called on their lawyer came and told the Justice in Chamber that no, there was no plan to remove the speaker illegally. It was part of the reason why the Justice in Chambers, Yami Beze, lifted the order. Now, I'm inclined also again to believe that the speaker can going to move on and say they don't want to sit on a gavel. Probably there will be another injunction placed there. I don't know that. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to pretend to be one. But yet, what I'm going to say, what I know that have unfolded in the past two processes, and I would think it is very early now to call on the speaker to take some very decisive. Now, if the speaker is going to set a precedent, and that's what I want to say, if they tell the speaker to set a precedent that he want to fight this and challenge at the end, if they succeed, then he's going to resign completely from the House, then I will ask him to move on, because a former chairman on the judiciary, former deputy speaker and now speaker, if he's fighting to set precedent, I will agree. But if you fight to fight and wrestle around and damage all the grass, at the end of the day, you become a floor member, there's a tendency that will push you. The thing that I just know, sometimes threaten you with expulsion and ask you to publicly apologize and the rest of that. That's the majority block. That's the process about it. And I'll go into the rules, Rule 9. The Rule 9 of it is very clear as to how members can be removed or suspended and the rest of that. So I would believe at this critical junction, if the speaker is not getting the number, the best thing to do, resign and leave. And that I would call on the speaker to do that, resign and leave. Nothing going to change. And the guys are very adamant. The way they portray the situation, they are adamant. If you even fight, what's the end game? What's the end game here? So that is where I'm looking at this critical process. But I think it's a waste of time, waste of taxpayer money for those responsible, honorable men and women to behave the way they are behaving. It's quite unfortunate, but I believe that it is about time that we call on the speaker to see reason. If they don't want to listen to me, work with him and all of things, because this is a difficult process we head into. So I would think that if you want to fight this and end this process, but it will be very, very important that we consider the interest of the people of Liberia, because it is the taxpayer money that are paying those guys. They behave, instead of behaving like honorable people, some of them trying to behave like knuckleheads, and this is wrong. It is important that we face the reality and push this process forward. The fact that the Justice in Chamber lifted this injunction is troubling. The Speaker will have to move and go back. Now, the Speaker cannot go to the full bench. It's not possible. You have to go back to a Justice in Chambers, probably refiling the next case. Probably this time around will be, the guys don't want to come under my gavel. Can the Justice in Chamber force them to come under your gavel? That's a very huge question that we need a legal scholar to answer. And I hope some of those questions will be answered eventually.
Well, let me welcome Robert Garguah. But before Robert comes in, but Pewee, my understanding is that the lifting of that writ by the Justice in Chamber was to afford the guys to go to session. Okay, they go to session, and then they can do what they can go with the process.
No. I listened to the spokesperson of the judiciary yesterday. He had a different opinion to that.
What he said?
The reason why the justice lifted it because the guy's lawyer went and said he didn't want to remove the speaker illegally. That's the reason why he lifted the injunction.
Okay, yeah. So
it was not to go to section, no.
Okay, so but but now you're calling for the speaker to resign, and the speaker say, from what I'm gathering, last time I heard from the speaker is from what we're hearing, he says it's not even part of the equation. So now, so I don't. But look, from what I see, the impasse will continue. But that's what I'm saying. The president will have to intervene, because his government is now will be having a problem. You can't do business with all the House and the Senate. And when one person take a care of decision on that side, that have concurrence. And right now, nothing happening. So
my fear quickly, and I'm going to predict it quickly before I end in a few seconds. This is what's going to happen. I suspect the executive will soon start cooperating with the majority bloc. That's what's going to happen. And listen, I'm saying this because there's been history of that precedent. There have been a precedent before. When the Edward Snow saga started, when the majority bloc started working from Hotel Africa, Manasari started doing business with them, right? So I'm afraid. I should be wrong. I may be wrong, but trust me, we're going to discuss it on this show. They will soon start. Some official of government will soon start going to them, and the process will be difficult.
But Robert, let me just put on. Robert, you're coming just now. I beg you, please. The fact of the matter is that like today I watched the program live, the Thanksgiving program. I watched it live. The president was there. His wife was there. The vice president was there. The speaker and wife was there too. The president recognized the speaker as called him Mr. Speaker. After that, I think they talked a little bit. When they got outside, I saw the speaker and the vice president talking. But that's the thing I'm saying though. If when it happened to Snow and Tyler, the president was involved. President Sirleaf was involved in the removal. We all know that. But this one, I've been investigating and found out that I see no reason to accuse President Baga to be involved in this one. Okay, I'm not defending the president, but I see no reason because I'm told he's not happy with it. But that's why I keep on saying that President Baga must intervene. He must step in it now because his government is the one that's being affected. So, and as long as the president is not involved, okay, he will not tell his minister to go report to Thomas Fala and other group. Okay, the president wrote on the 31st of October. He said, "I cannot present my budget, but gave me up to November 8th." So we'll see what happened on Friday. He's supposed to submit his budget on Friday to the speaker, to Tyler, to Kofa. Let's see. But as long as Kofa is not resigning, and his body, he's not losing any votes from his side, he will hold it for long. Somebody got to blink. And I don't think the president would break the law to go and say, "I want to do it this way." Except he getting involved and say, "Well, I don't want what with Kofa." And mind you, what I do, from what I'm informed, what I don't want to work with Fala. Fala like this person want to work with. But Robert, come in.
It's great to be on. Let me say this. I vehemently disagree with Pewee. And why I respect his rights to his opinion. I don't think this is what we should be encouraging yet. I don't think we should encourage a group of men and women that are lawmakers who have, from all indications, refused to respect the laws that they sought to protect. To somehow say that, based on pressure and based on the fact that the speaker have not gotten the number for quorum, he should resign. This is I think this is absurd. The law is the law, and we must get to a point as a country where we are backing those who respect the law. And I've said repeatedly here that I don't fancy Kofa. I think Kofa has done the executive branch of government some good here. I don't. If this issue was on the issue of whether or not Kofa has exhibited the kind of leadership that many anticipated when he won the speakership, the valid government, not necessarily an opposition to the executive branch on every single issue, but one that will ensure checks and balance. I don't think he's done that adequately. I don't think so. But none of these justify why we must support an attempt to illegally and unconstitutionally remove him. We should be putting pressure on those men and women who have refused to return to work. They have refused to do the people's job. I think they should resign. If we must ask anyone to resign, they should resign. Because clearly they have no understanding of what they're doing, and they have no intention of putting the people's interest and the country interest first. The law is very simple, Sylvester. To remove the speaker, you need 49 persons. That's one. Two, it cannot be done in a separate chambers. It has to be done in the joint chambers. Three, you must ensure that the speaker is given due process. So, who has refused to respect the law in this case? Is it Kofa, or is it these guys? The fact that they don't have the number as required, the fact that they have refused to lobby, the fact that they have refused to engage, the fact that they have refused to convince other lawmakers based on their own resolution speaks volume. Can we mute? I'm hearing feedback. It speaks volume. So why are we asking Kofa to resign? Why are we asking Kofa to resign? During the the conference with the associate justice, Vernon Sherman, who represents the anti-Kofa Black, call on the majority Black members to ensure that due process is served in a quest to remove the speaker. They agree, and Sherman acknowledged. He acknowledged that without a formal proceedings, Speaker Kofa retains his position, making it premature for him to seek a prohibition against his colleagues. Again, look, look, people have said Sherman is one of the best lawyers in the country, blah, 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 blah. He has a tainted record when he served in the roles that he served. But I'm sure he understands the law. So if the lawyer who represents you acknowledge that you must go through the formal proceedings, that must include due process, then what are we discussing here? They ensure that they will start the proceeding to give the speaker due process. I thought that on Tuesday they would have shown up and gone to work to ensure quorum. They didn't do that. And so why are we asking the speaker to resign? I think we should be commending the speaker's courage here. We should be commending the fact that he has stood up to these bullies and these lawbreakers. We should be commending this for him. And the fact that this has happened in the past does not justify whether or not it was wrong. The fact that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf decided to work with the other folks, even though she knew that they broke the laws, doesn't mean that Speaker Kofa should succumb to this nonsense. If Joseph Boaga wants to work with them, let's see what happens. But the law is the law, and until these guys decide to follow the law, I think Kofa should fight on. And by the way, there is absolutely no part of the Constitution, though it gives them the power to suspend and expel. It must be on a cause. And that cause cannot be on grounds that Speaker Kofa refused to resign. That's not a legal cause. You can't say, well, because Kofa put us through all of this stuff, he could have easily resigned, even though we didn't have the number. He went to court, he did this, he did that. So now we have the right to expel him. It won't work. Look, we gotta be careful in that country. We gotta be careful in that country. And so for the 10th time, I support Speaker Kofa on this particular issue. People, especially lawmakers, should begin to learn how to respect the law. Simple as that. If you cannot respect the laws, you are not qualified to be a lawmaker. If you cannot uphold the laws, you are not qualified to be a lawmaker. If you cannot serve as an exemplary of the law, you cannot qualify to be a lawmaker. You cannot qualify to be called honorable, because you are doing something contrary to what an honorable should do. So no, Sylvester, Speaker Kofa must not resign. He must fight this until we ensure that these guys give due process, until we ensure that they're following the laws and the rules and the procedures as per the House of Representatives. Other than that, he should fight on.
Yep. You see, I'm surprised that I'm surprised that you came out to say that the speaker should bow to pressure to resign, and that's exactly what the people want to see happen.
And let me say,
Let me just I support what Robert said, for the fact that that's what they want to see happen. They want and what they are doing now. They're sending their surrogates.
No, let's go to the first line.
Sorry, guys. How was this?
5 calls to your voicemail.
Okay. Yeah. What happened is that what they want. You see what they did the other day? They sent one of their surrogate out, George Calando, my friend Calando, they sent out to start attacking it. Say the man of my friend, but he got to resign for the sake of the country. And I don't want to hear, but I think sake of country. It's not fair. Okay. And they know that. And but from what I'm gathering, Kofa will remain, and he'll stay in a position. He's not going to resign, because they set a precedent that when that time came, he stood his ground and he not resigned. So I don't think he should resign. I think that people should stop what they're doing, go and do the right thing, go to session, go and put and plead your case. But they call him to resign because they understand that. And now you're talking about they'll do business with them. I don't see Joseph Boaga doing it, man. JMB, I don't see you do it. He will not do business with these guys. But so also you can wait, but I'm telling you, you're not going to join.
No, I was completely trying to say, listen, part of my reasoning, and I stand by what I'm saying here to you, Georgie, the process is very clear. You cannot, the way the guys are exhibiting things, you cannot compare folks to work with you who don't want to work with you. That wouldn't be a great area politically in terms of the process.
But they don't decide who they want to work with, Sylvester. They don't decide who they work with. The people do.
The process is not about.
I gotta interrupt.
It is not about legal process that we talk about.
No, but you cannot.
Let's start roaming around the place. Oh, legal. Oh, you wrong on this.
Sylvester, lawmakers don't decide who they want to work with. The people do.
It's a political possibility. This process is not about what issue we're going to have to in this line. I'm looking at it from the political line.
Yeah, but we got to look at it from a legal perspective first.
That's a political house. It's not all about legality. That's a political house. If those guys are not allowing the process to work the way it's going, number one, if you're going to
then the law,
what did the Justin Chambers do yesterday, particularly concerning the very prohibition process? It was lifted. Now, we need not to go to custom legal analysis to begin the process of analyzing this issue first and foremost.
What was the point? What was the petition sent to the justice in chambers? Can you now leave the justice in chamber to go to the full chambers? Actually, no. But what was said that the justice in chamber lifted on this process? You know that sometimes it will not just necessarily be legal process. The issue that they said we don't want to remove it. Now, the next process is, can you again move to the justice in chambers and say, we want you to compare them to go? The justice in chambers is not going to do that. So we're speaking to other legal analysts. In this legal process going to turn political. It is from where we're trying to do. Now, we all need to sit and just post what is it that we want the country to move to. It's not that I'm saying things blatantly, or I want to say things that I'm in favor of what what they're doing, but again, this thing going to be political. It's going to end politically.
Okay, so if I may, let me just say this. Democracy is guided by laws. The principle of democracy is guided by laws. And look, there are 78 to so million Americans who voted for Trump. There are over 71 million or 69 or so who does not see Trump as one of their guys. At the end of the day, those of us who did not support him have to respect the voice of the masses. And guess what? And guess what? The House of Representatives, led by
democracy is guided by law, but Trump was a convict, a voter himself.
I agree, but listen, but to your point,
democracy is guided by law, but it's a convict. They want to perforate. They want to perforate.
But that very law.
But Robert says the two things that most of us support him, but
exactly my point.
No. I'm going back to the issue of law of democracy. I'm going back to the process of democracy.
Let me land, please.
Being protected by law.
Well, yeah, but the very law. Very law.
Trump was a convict. Trump was a convict. He left the president.
But listen now, the very law, Sylvester, the very law that we both frown on, have protected Donald Trump based on his previous role as president of the United States. Now, that it is contradicting to me that millions of black men and women in this country who are convicted felons and have served time for lesser crime than Donald Trump and what he was convicted of, have that rights to vote have been stripped. It's been taken away.
That democracy.
Listen, none of that negate the fact that he's been protected by the very law that we must change.
But
if we vote. But here's what I'm saying. These guys in Liberia are not protected by the laws. If anything, the laws protect the speaker. Because the law is very clear.
Let me land. But right, you have a lot of time. You saying things.
Yeah, but I need to make my contribution, General.
No, what I'm saying is very simple. You can't force a bunch of guys who don't want to work with the speaker. My point is, they don't decide who they work with.
Exactly.
The speaker is democratically elected, and there are rules and procedure to remove the speaker. They have not adhered to that. And they don't have the numbers to remove the speaker. So why should we put the burden on the speaker when the speaker has shown up to work to do his work?
Johnny, before you come in, I dismissed it time to time. I said what the guy was doing was wrong. Their belligerent action was undermining democracy. It was undermining democracy time to time. I believe I have said that. But what I'm heading to, and I'm speaking in a raw manner here. The issue about the higher decision-making body in that institution is plenary. It's not an issue of law. It's plenary. They are very rude. Plenary can do a lot of decisions. The majority in our place about number. And that's my fear. And we'll say that somebody want to sugarcoat things, somebody want to sugarcoat. I want to be raw here. I want to be very analytical. I want to be direct to the point. Eventually, we're going to come back to the same process. We're going to move around the cycle. We're going to come back. The first thing was the justice in chamber lifted injunction. The next thing, even the full bench, they will not take direct action against those people. And then what you're going to embody them to take other decisions. My fear, and this one here, my fear in terms of the politics, I find they close the snow, Tyler. Nothing going to change with this situation. The only thing going to change with this situation is going to drag on for a little bit. Eventually, the decision is going to be taken. The majority are going to have a say, and that's just about democracy.
The majority will have a say, but they will be forced to respect the laws. And you know what? We will be. This process must be guided by the laws and not politics. We understand the political part of it, right?
What happened yesterday?
Politics must be guided by the law.
If you were to talk to the speaker question on it. He will tell you he's not happy with the decision coming off from the justice chamber.
I understand that. I
You say
understand
that, right?
But the
So
spe- yeah,
that's the
I understand that.
beginning. That's the beginning of saying to us that it's time to call it a goal. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no. But it
Only
should
that
not.
the
It
very
should
code,
not be.
the very
It should
document
not
you
be.
rely on,
This-
that code would not
The
do
Supreme
what
Court.
you do.
The Supreme. First of all, the Supreme Court, Johnny, you're coming soon. The Supreme Court must decide based on the laws. And if the Supreme
Exactly.
Court if the Supreme Court starts to make decisions contrary to the laws, then we have a serious problem, and we're going towards a constitutional crisis. But here's my point:
When the
regardless of
Supreme
what
Court
happens,
producer in this country,
regardless of what happens or what
Uh-huh.
may come, this speaker must not resign at the pressure of lawmakers who have refused to respect the laws. This speaker must fight on, and we all of us must support the speaker, not politically, but based on the law. That's my point. The politics is always be the politics.
I believe that.
But the
Listen,
law must prevail. We must
Listen.
learn how to respect the laws.
I don't want the speaker to be embarrassed eventually in terms of that. That's a normal area, and that's what I'm saying. Eventually, they may get out against the speaker. If they succeed in getting him out, they can embarrass him otherwise. And listen, when we say the way man we saying it, people think that nothing. I'm just saying the hard reality here in terms of what is unfolding. And I'm one of those, and that's why I go sometimes around. Hey, my brother was something. I would call and say, hey, it's time to do this, time to do this, time to do this, time to do this. Why you just open this just now? You said democracy law. So I'm not trying to protect that from the law. Other people are what?
Yeah, but at least it's the law. At least it's the law. Now it's up to us voters now to change that law.
Okay, but you can change the law when the justice in chambers that the 5 men out of 5 persons. They'll wait and see what's going to happen in the next thing. You see, you listen to what the speaker wrote, right? Fine, you know, say you believe of. I didn't believe of the law.
Well, that Johnny coming.
But Johnny, come in, please.
So, but let me say thank you, guys. You know, I mean, the argument that you guys just having here, the argument was stated days back. I mean, my brother Rabbi disagree with me, and I kept saying that place is a political theater. The law will play its role, but politics will play majority of the role in that place. You know, I understand that the action taken to remove Speaker Kofa by law, the guys have not gained the number of 49, which is 2/3 of the entire, House of Representatives. But like the rabbi was saying, until the guys can get it, the 49, the speaker should hold on. Good, that's a good ground to hold also. The one thing I know is that, in my view, the Constitution, I mean, the Supreme Court, I still don't see the other one how we had Honorable Bealded on the show. He and I were arguing on the Constitution. He said, I'm reading upside down. And I really hope he will come today. You see, when he said compare, I told him there is no place in our Constitution that says that Supreme Court should be used to compare people to come to work. Right? There's no way there. You shall continue to adjourn from time to time until at such time you can get quorum. If you don't get quorum, you can compare. Now, look at legislature. There is a formality, there's a protocol there. The sergeant at arms is responsible. That's why he's elected. Is responsible to carry the mandate of the speaker to bring people in section or take people out of section. And I think, what I like about this argument is that I'm hoping that it will help to improve our legislature to take advantage of Article 33 and begin to make laws in the legislature among themselves that will define Article 33 by looking at compare people to come section. But we can go back and forth. I mean, again, the Supreme Court can decide that the guy should go back. But they can ask the question, who is injured in this matter? And the very reason why the prohibition that they asked for was not imposed. Because Kofa is not injured yet, in the sense that he's still a speaker. Now, if they have removed him and they not use the legal means to remove him, then he has been injured. Then Supreme Court will come in to pass a ruling that, look, this man was not removed properly, so go back and use the right thing. But Kofa is still remaining as speaker. All the guy doing, they get resisting him and say, we're not coming to session. We'll hold our own session somewhere else. So I'm still wondering, how can the Supreme Court then compare the guys and say, go to session? Supreme Court and between, the doctrine of separation of power. Right?
No,
those guys are doing that. They are doing their own thing in their department. They have not gone to the where Supreme Court has power to do anything in there.
Yeah,
So
but
and then the next point here is that you guys mentioning the executive name. I'm wondering whether President Buckeye will deal with the majority. I don't think he will do it.
He will not do
What
it.
I suspect is he will present his budget to the speaker office.
Yeah.
To the speaker office through the what you call it, the clerk, whatever. But the issue is that you present your budget, there will be no quorum to discuss the budget.
But
you know what I'm saying? Now there will be no quorum to discuss the budget. The next point would be if, as we look at politically, if the executive really has interest, like we all sitting here has interest to keep Kofa as speaker, they can play a role to make Kofa remain as speaker and a whole nother seats. If the executive has interest, I come into Tomalin, if the executive has interest in removing Kofa, right? Speaker, the executive can play its role also to remove.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sorry, you're frozen. But what John is saying, but I will say this though, there is left with Lofa, welcome here. It is left with the, as I say again, the ball is in the president's court because honestly, and Kofa, I mean, and that's exactly what the so-called majority black want. That's what they want. They want to ensure that Kofa resign. They want to put it in, make it harder for him, pressure him to resign in a manner. But he's not going to resign. As a result, you cannot do business like that. Okay? And it is simple. The Supreme Court, I mean, the Supreme Court won't be telling them, we're interpreting the law to both sides. You want to remove this man? We don't have a problem with you. Just do it the right way. But you can't sit down and say you'll do business and you're not going to go through the right procedure. That's not fair. You guys know that it's not fair. But Pewee, before I Lofa come into Pewee, I see you as a diplomat.
Wait, Tomalin.
Well, I come 1 minute. I see you as a diplomat, but I see, from what I see, you if you go in negotiation, how you back out quick. Because a few weeks ago you were saying you are going inside the law. Today, guy, you flip and say Kofa can resign because and he see no way for him to deal with the president will deal with the minority block.
It's good that you brought this point out, and I was saying
I don't think it's fair though. I mean, I don't think it's fair, but I don't think I agree. I side with Robert that actually let it.
You start with Robert Ellison. So
don't want to say that it's not. Don't want to say that the speaker can't move, but do it the right way, brother. Simple.
Let me reiterate.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let me reiterate quickly. And I didn't sound definitive here to say the speaker should resign. I didn't say that. And go back to the clip. What that said is that the way situation is unfolding, I would think the speaker should do take the best decision to move on. I didn't say he should. I said I would think, right? So, and I was very clear because I understand how people want to feel doing this. And also in diplomacy, that's it. Listen, in diplomacy, we give and take. Diplomacy is kind of a way that we give and take, and that's why. So now you see diplomat will say this today and tomorrow change on and say another thing. So this is not an isolation process we're doing here. In negotiation, negotiation is a very strategic process one will have to do. Entering negotiation, you have to be very savvy in terms of your thought process as to what kind of mechanism you want to deploy in your negotiation tactics, right? So in negotiation, you have to, you painfully sometimes give other things out in terms of the general settlement. Now, what you have to do is to juxtapose the intentionality as to what we want to achieve. What's our achievement goal? And then at the end of the day, what's the achievement goal going to push us to? We have to strike the balance here. So I was trying to project something through the part to say, hey, I believe it is the time that the speaker will, because this is going to be a running cycle. It's not going to push the country to anything we're going to reap anything positive from. Is that going to be noise? At the end of the day, we're going to get to the same thing. If folks don't really want to work with you in terms of parliamentary elections, in terms of our country, legislative elections, it's a difficult ball game. We've had similar experience. We went through the cracks before. So I'm not saying this, I said it yesterday that it was wrong. And even today I'm saying it's wrong. But eventually it's a number game. If you were to go through legislative parts of our country, it's intentionally a number game. It's an enormous long haul, and at the end of the day, the people of the country are not going to get the requisite and necessary service those guys were elected to perform. So that's basically what I'm trying to say here. It's not that I'm trying to capitulate on what I have said eventually. No, I'm trying to find a way forward. And part of the way forward is, and you also regularly stated this in diplomacy. Diplomacy is an element of finding a resource. And in those kind of a tactical arrangement, you push to find the end game. And what's the end game here is to find solution to this problem. So yes, diplomat do make comment today and they readjust their comment and settle for everything. They do a lot of compromises in negotiation. That's the element of diplomacy. And that's why the culture of diplomacy is something we refer to, we say diplomacy is reciprocity, right? We need to readjust a certain mode and we push those things and project them to have the end result. And what's the end result? The Liberian people need to benefit. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from a personal engagement point. No. I'm coming from the point that the country will benefit in the whole structure. That's what I meant. And again, I believe the best way to do this process is going to come back because my decision quickly came from the point of the justice in chambers, Yami Beze lifting the writ of injunction. I'm afraid the next thing going to be even moving on. You saw the speaker respond to the writ of injunction process, right? We may be in cycle eventually. That's what unfortunately is going to happen. But
Okay,
yes.
may I come in, guys?
Lofa.
Okay, Lofa.
Yeah, so Tomalin, thanks for allowing me to come on. But a lot of folks been calling. Unfortunately, I'm not at home, so folks been trying to get to you guys on to contribute to the show. You got the number up there, but for some reason it's not working. So I have folks on the line who wants to contribute to the conversation. But before I bring Benjamin Jonah in,
is it time to take calls?
Yeah, we were. Yeah. We were trying to take calls, Robert, before. Somebody, that's why somebody put the number up, and people were calling, but then they got to me. But let me bring what's his name, Benjamin Jonah on. But before I bring him on, let me just say to my uncle Pewee on here. Look, tonight you made me proud. The people of Lofa County are very proud of you for the fact that you have accepted and acknowledged that, you know, for Natif, Kopa, and T5 are both not doing the country any good. Both should not be allowed to plunge us in the dungeons. So thank you again, Pewee, with the exception of the fact that you thought to bring my candidate, the future candidate, and the people's representative, Alex Chuchu Jones.
Let me
break Benjamin on. Ben, go on.
Oh, well, yeah. Thanks for having me. You know, I'm a little bit surprised at Pewee, but not too much because of his CDC lineage. And here's what I say. So, and I hope I'm not sounding a little bit harsh again. Because something was done wrong in the past, there are good precedents and there are bad precedents. The reason why we have history is so that we do not repeat bad precedents. But for older Liberia that I see people fighting for something that they know was wrong that happened, and it's still saying, yes, it can happen again. No, history tells us we should not repeat those bad precedents. And the other thing he's talking about suspension, the speaker can never be suspended unless he resigns or unless he loses his position as a speaker. So let's stop the whole thing. Please, Pewee. Because we are used to the bad things so much so that even when we see the right thing, it's hard for us to identify it. I understand it, but this time around, let's try to see what is right for right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I think that's just about it. Unfortunately, like I said, guys, I'm not at home. That's why I'm not on the show. But folks kept calling and they wanted to charm me, so I just thought to give them the opportunity through this meeting. But great show thus far, though.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, can I come in, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you've been dragging me to speak on this issue, so I will give you my 2 cents. The fact here, when you talk about right and wrong, okay, there's something in law where it says the poison apple or something from the apple from the poisonous tree. Okay, meaning something doesn't become right or someone doesn't become right or just only when it benefits them. And that's the situation with phonetic offer. Many speakers in America have resigned. Okay, Newt Gingrich. I mean, the list goes on and on. Ryan. Liberia is the only place where people get in power and they feel that they're entitled. Power is about vote of confidence. Okay, meaning even if you're elected, and there are many things I disagree with Josh Weah with, many things. Okay, but the one thing I respect him for is that when the people decided in 2023 that Joseph Boakai had won the election, he graciously stepped down, and that had given him a lot of respect. He did not feel that the presidency was his to keep, and he had to fight. If Olenti Kofa had the vote of his peers, the confidence of his peers, we won't be having this issue. Okay? So it's not a matter of, democracy is not usually a matter of right and wrong. It's a matter of how many people have vote of confidence. Let me give you another example. The UK. How many prime ministers in 3 months' time, 4 months' time? All right. Tony, now, what's her name? The last lady who left on the Liz Truss.
This trust.
I think 4 months. Her party decided they had no vote of confidence. The recent guy, Sunuk, did an extremely good job on the economy. The guy from English. All right. He had to resign when his party had no confidence. Why in Liberia people feel that you got to be the only place you can be effective is in government? Like I said, I'm coming to Liberia for the next 2 to 3 years to teach high school. Poleni Kofa can come beside me and let go teach the children in high school. They've been serving in government. They've been collecting millions of dollars from government. Why can't you step aside when your friends and everybody's saying they don't want you? I'm not saying that the people who want to remove it, they're any better. They're all useless. But Liberia is the only place where people fight for position, like, you're entitled to it. And that's part of the problem. Why you want to be there so bad if they're not for money, if they're not for corruption? So I'm just saying that it's embarrassing. And I agree with Pewee. Forget why whenever there's an issue of people deciding they're gonna go to court, everything gotta go to court. When all the speakers in America resign, how many of them went to court? When you start fighting for position, like I said, in 2023, I listened, I watched the people, they wanted Boakai, they wanted Weah. What did it take from me? What did it take for me to say, you know what? I will sit on the sideline and I will observe. The people that say they can lead, they can govern, let them go. Who in a better position today? The Boakai now, what the ministry, the rescue team now, they're embarrassed. They're useless. They can't even talk. All right. So sometimes when you're there to do a job and the people say they don't want you or they're fighting, step aside. You don't have to go to court. And that's just my advice. It's something that we are did, and I praise him for that. Like I said, I hope he comes back in 2029 because I want to beat Josh Weah. Because if I don't beat Josh Weah, I think the Liberian people will feel that this man is entitled to Liberia. So I praise him on that one, but I encourage him because the first advice I gave him: retire, take your stolen money, enjoy yourself, you're a young man, go work internationally, focus on a lot of programs. But he still won't be in politics, so I call him on it tonight. Let him declare because I want to go against George Weah, so that is nonsense about the CDC and George Weah. You mess up the economy for 6 years. $1.4 billion. You're talking loan. We can't get it. So all I want, we're talking in 2029. We got the records and we'll publish it. But for Lenti Kofa, if you're listening to me, resign. There are many ways you can serve your country. Many ways. Especially going to help young people. Look at the locals. All the money you've been paid, millions of dollars every year in your budget. The House of Representatives today, we don't even know how much they make, each person. They're working on success you won't claim. The budget that you signed, the last one budget, where was there for the ordinary Liberian people? The healthcare, the education. So anybody who's supporting these people, any one of them, they're useless. Especially the young people I see them jumping beyond. Do you think what benefit if he stays or he leaves? What benefits to you, Robert?
Okay,
or to the country?
Let me tell
Please,
you. So
educate me.
I think before you beat George Weah, you must understand the difference between a power struggle and entitlement and elections, right? Elections have consequences, right? And so you're comparing, or George, we are conceding an election where the people spoke, an election where he could have fought, right? Because there were still outstanding ballots. But he said, you know what? Based on what we've seen so far, I will peacefully concede and initiate a peaceful transfer of power. I think that is commendable. And President George Weah should be commendable. But do you think George Weah would have conceded had a group of UP partisans and others who have said that George Weah is no good for the country, have mashed the city like June 7, demanding that he resign? Do you think George Weah would have just easily succumbed to a call for resignation? Or do you think he would have argued that they go to the polls and have their voices be heard? The best way, right? The best way to implore and fire people, especially politically, is through the ballot box. And we must respect that. That's the essence of democracy. And so your comparison here is orange and apples. Fanati Kofa was elected as per the law for speaker. He was elected. The very colleagues that want to remove him elected him. Now, to remove Fanati Kofa, there are laws and rules that one must follow. It has nothing to do with Fanati Kofa's performance. I want us to separate our sentiments of how we feel about his performance and focus on the process and the approach here to remove him. I'm against the approach because this approach is unconstitutional and illegal. So even if we agree that Fanati Kofa does not deserve to be Speaker of the 55th Legislature, we cannot agree that the process to remove him is one that benefits the country with regards to the rule of law. We must separate the two. I'm not a big fan of Fanati Kofa. I've said that. But does that mean that I should disregard the unconstitutional process? To some extent, based on the allegations and accusations made, the criminal approach here, can you imagine lawmakers being robbed to remove a speaker? This is what we're dealing with here. And so
Robert, say allegedly.
I don't think
say allegedly. You have no.
I just said based on the allegations. I didn't speak definitively. So let's be clear. Based on the allegations made. These are allegations that has been made. I don't have to put allegedly. They're allegations.
You said lawmakers are being bribed.
I said based on the allegations of bribe. Yes, there are allegations that lawmakers have been bribed. There are allegations that lawmakers have been bribed. And until we hear anything based on the investigation being carried on about whether or not this is true, yeah, there are allegations of lawmakers being bribed to remove the speaker.
That's correct.
So you've got to put all of these in perspective. Whether you think Fanati Kofa is Fanatif Kofa, whether you think Fanati Kofa does not deserve to be there, whether you think his removal does nothing to the country, whether you think he's a criminal like the other guys, none of this matters. What matters here right now is if you must remove him, you must respect the laws and go to the legal process to remove him. That's the right
Can I respond to you, Robert?
No, I'm coming.
Let me finish 1 second. Let me finish one second. A vote of no confidence. A vote of no confidence in an election is not enough reason for anyone to resign. And if Fanati Kofa must resign, it must be done on Fanati Kofa's own will. It cannot be done on the pressure of a bunch of lawbreakers pressuring him to resign based on their approach. So we have to be very clear. I cannot encourage Fanati Kofa to resign based off of the pressure of these guys who have refused to respect the ruling of the Supreme Court. They should give him due process. They should go to the joint chambers. They should lobby and convince other lawmakers based on that resolution to get the 49 number required per law to remove the speaker.
Robert, I'm not interrupting you quickly, but folks are asking to contribute to the show. They are asking that the number is not correct. Can you guys please have Tomalin correct the number? because there's a comment on here. Folks are asking, they keep calling. Unfortunately, I can't turn on any other number because I'm not in the position to do that.
Can you correct the number, please?
Can you guys, you guys do that?
Robert, we got your point. If you allow me.
No,
folks like to chime in. Correct.
Robert, we got your point. You said principle.
Your point is made.
Guys, can I land, please, guys? Tomalin will correct the number. Can I land? I've been interrupted.
Land quickly.
We got your point.
No, so I want us to be clear that I'm not, and I think a lot of people who back the speaker for not resigning, I don't think they probably like the speaker's leadership. They might have their own issues, but we've got to learn how to separate our sentiments and our personal issues with regards to the process. There's two different things here. Until these guys follow the process to respect the laws, I cannot with good conscience support this process, and I cannot encourage the speaker to resign based on Tyler and Snow resignation. If we continue this process, 4 years from now or 2 years from now, another speaker might be going through the same process. We've got to bring an end to this circle of disrespecting the laws. They must follow the laws.
I would say this clearly. I have not one person, I have never, and I hope folks will have to just understand my pattern, and I'm realistic in terms of that. I speak from the political perspective. I look at it from other perspective, policy perspective, and other the legal concept also. Now, my position is clear before that I have said those that have been behind this process about removing the speaker, and where it was alleged that money may have changed hands, it was totally preposterous, and we condemn it categorically. And we will again and again state here that if there's an attempt to subvert democracy via undermining the process, it's wrong. But what I was saying that with the kind of a Caesar battle that is currently unfolding in the legislature, it is just prudent on the part of the speaker to end this, because my decision came just after the ruling from Justice Yami Beze. It was clear. The justice came and lifted the prohibition. And what it did is it further embodied those guys, and they believe that they got some teeth to bite in terms of fighting the speaker. Now, will this continue? If it were to go from the full bench, and the full bench takes decision, as per the spokesperson of the judiciary, what I heard him say yesterday is that the judiciary cannot bring case. They're not going looking for cases for people. You have to go and report that you've been violated or your right being trampled upon, and then they move in to take the appropriate decision. Now, where are we headed in terms of this kind of issue? I agree the speaker is right to move on this battle, but you in a battle with a group of men and women that are saying that this, in terms of 73 persons, we already have 43 of them. That does not constitute two-thirds of what, as per what their the Constitution Article 33 and their own rule 9 of their rule is still the same. Rule 9 is saying the same thing here as to how the speaker can be removed and how ordinary member can be expelled. It says it should constitute something of two-thirds majority of the body. That's what I'm saying. But the opinion, what I'm trying to project as people trying to think that we're trying to push the speaker to do this. Listen, I don't want us to move into a cycle. Ed Snow did the same thing. And when it happened to Snow, eventually, what they did to Snow? They brought Snow in the front of plenary, embarrassed him, and asked him to go and write a letter of apology, or that they threatened to have suspended or expel him. Right? These are problematic processes we heading toward, and it's part of the reason why we're trying to push all of what we're saying here. Listen, I'm not one of those. I don't want to be in the nonsense that is unfolding in the House in terms of what is happening. We should be discussing policy processes, the major legislative policy that should be striking through as to how we would change certain things in this country, pass those laws that got the ability to transform life, to reduce poverty, right? The poverty reduction strategy is what is key to legislating. It's important. When can we sit as a lawmakers, group of lawmakers, to do those policy things that will reflect positively towards our people, instead of trying to seek personal process that will be counterproductive towards the well-being of our folks? That's my position. I've always been clear on these things. I've not dared to take side. I don't something I criticize those I want to criticize, and my criticism is always matched against or objective point my objective point. I don't get moved away with sentiments in terms of what I want to say. No, I believe it, I strike it, I study it, and I push on, I come over my disposition. That's it. For the country to be free and liberated today, we will have to take some very hard decision and ensuring that we protect the interests of the people. Other sometimes certain folk can get being accused of certain things. After what we do, they resign so that the continuation of the country should move forward. But if we're going to be in this cycle,
Sylvester,
it's a difficult process.
Sylvester, tonight, I think you're speaking a lot of sense. I usually disagree with you. You're a CDC man, political as a CDC man. But today, I think you're speaking on behalf of the country. So I'm very proud of you that you can even speak up against a sedition in the interest of the country. And I think it behooves all of us. The point here, Robert, and I hope he's listening.
Yeah, he is.
All the prime minister in the world, democracy is not unique to one place. Democracy just means that a group of people decide on how a country should be run rather than one person. Okay? Everywhere in the world, those speakers that resigned, John Boehner in America, that was speaker, had 2 years on his term. He had rights. He could have gone and fought it. He could have gone to the Supreme Court. Okay? When Nixon resigned, Nixon could afford it. The presidents all around the world that have resigned. The prime minister that have resigned. The parliament members have resigned. Not because they don't have any rights or they can't go and point to a law and say, let's shut down the whole government. So the idea that, and this is the last I'm speaking on this because it's a complete waste of my time, because like I said, that better things that Liberian people should be focusing on. The whole legislature, the whole government needs to be reformed. You know, you need to bring capable people to write good policy. Here's a legislator that don't even have a website. Okay? They get over $50 million every year. They don't have a single website for $500 that the people will be wasting my time and energy behind, that they fulfilling any law. There's now a law in the Constitution that the people are supposed to be informed either electronically or through bulletin and stuff like that. So they're talking about the bribery. You won't tell me political for having given any bribe to get that position. You know, so we become hypocritical when in our favor. You know, do unto others as they have them do unto you. Political cover is not injured, except being bribing, except me buying votes, in my opinion. So why now when people, you know, what's good for the gangler? When you get power like that, that's what end up happening. If Samuel Doe would have listened to the people and resigned, 250,000 people would not have died. The country would not be today where it is. Today, Liberia would have been one of the best countries in Africa. He had it right. He was president. He could have waived his right. But what he said, oh, I have to set precedents. So sometimes, you know, it's better to do the right thing for the country than to say that, oh, this is my right. So at the end of the day, political will not be there because the people don't have any respect for him. They don't have the vote of confidence in him. And leadership is about trust and confidence. To be a good leader, to be an inspirational leader, to be a leader that people follow, people must have confidence and trust in you. The moment they lost that confidence, you are done. Just like how Joseph Burger today, the people do not have confidence in him. Okay, that's why today nothing can go on. So why waste the country's time? Why we sitting down here should be discussing policy, like Sylvester said. We should be discussing how we can solve problems in the country, how we can help the poor people, how we can help the elderly people, how we can help the handicapped, how we can help the disabled, how we can help all these people. Here's a country that barely got ambulances, the country that barely got, you know, good running water. And we see it out here discussing somebody who made a living, who's gotten rich on the backs of Liberian people. No, I'm not going to support that. Let he and every other person resign.
Yeah, so Jojo, thank you. I mean, just to connect you from there, that is why since this argument started, I've always said you guys are wasting our time. And in the last 2 or 3 weeks, they have been doing well for the country. But here's what I have to say to the issue with Speaker Kofa. I believe Speaker Kofa has lost legitimacy as a leader of the lower house. I agree the law says 49, but I think he has lost legitimacy. And, you know, obviously, he has to really take the decision to say, look, The guys that I'm managing, I'm the head for them. If this group does not want to listen to me or does not want to work with me, then no need. I stay here. I agree he need 49, which is clear that nobody is against the law. Everybody agree that we should go by law. But let's see, you are a leader. You got elected by the same 73 persons, right? Now, after 7, 8, 9 months, they're telling you now that we don't trust you, we can't work with you. And the way I want to say here is that this issue of removal of the speaker is not abrupt. The symptoms and signs were showing from the day they had the election, when Kun from the UP wanted to run, and the president called the UP caucus to your house to talk to them to support Kun. That did not work. You know, sometimes people forget the simple parable. You know, don't mind the play you fall. Look at the play you storm your toe.
Yep.
That goes to the honorable speaker. When you were being elected as speaker, do you know what led to you being a speaker? Do you know the political interest of the ruling party in that position?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you understand all of those things, and I remember a few months back, our own brother and friend, Yeka Kuruba, kept alarming that there is a plan to remove the speaker. People are collecting signatures. People are doing things to remove the speaker. That is when I thought Speaker Kofa will use leadership skills to begin to diffuse all those plans along the way to maintain your power or your authority as a speaker. So if you did not succeed in your leadership to avert all these things that were being discussed, that were brought about by Yeka Kuruba along the line, today people are resisting your leadership now, thus making your leadership to be illegitimate. Frankly speaking, right now, he's a speaker, theoretically he's speaker, but he's not presiding anymore as speaker. Because if they go to section, he has 29, 28, 27 persons going to section that cannot allow him to perform in duty as speaker. So looking at the discussion, I mean, prudence, expediency, and law. Where do we go? Right? Like the point you made, Chuchu, that yeah, it is his right to stay on and say, these guys gotta be 49 to remove me. Good. Right? And those guys are on the other side, they cannot be reduced. In fact, they were 43, now they are 44. Even though they have a little among them that are on the radio saying that she has not removed her signature from our paper, but she's working with her guys so they can make sure that they can raise the number to be 49 to remove the men. So that means the 44 persons, including the deputy speaker, they are on one side. So if 4, which are just short of 5 persons, are resisting your leadership, I think your leadership is already illegitimate. And like you said, in most instances, in countries where we have conflict, where leadership becomes illegitimate, no more authority, you can exercise any more power. What you do at the end of the day, say, look, I leave the thing. They say, I don't own it. It's not my power farm, as you can say in Liberia. I'm leaving it to you and remain to do my function because you were elected by as a speaker. It is your colleagues who chose to be the speaker. I agree, the need for the now to remove him. But they don't have 49, they are 44. And they are causing his leadership to be illegitimate now. He cannot function anymore. Right? To the extent that even the clerical team that was working along with him, they've all left him and gone to work with the majority group in their section. The acting clerk, or the sergeant at arm, whoever else should support his function as speaker, they're all going on the other side. So, I mean, frankly speaking, like I said initially, to many about you guys know, I told you all the guys, I didn't have into the discuss the matter, but you kept pushing it over and over because I really thought that you guys,
it's trending.
You know, they are wasting. Yeah, I agree, they're trending, but they are wasting our time.
Let me just.
The citizens' time.
Yeah, we have to go because the time now. But guys, I'll tell you the truth though. It's trending. What happened? But hopefully tomorrow we have the Clarence guy from the majority side will be our guest tomorrow. Hopefully, he will, as soon as things are scheduled, he will. But I can say that he will be our guest tomorrow. He's willing to come and clarify some issues tomorrow, according to what he's doing in the news about him. So he'll be our guest tomorrow, representative guy from Magibi. So tomorrow we'll have him, and so hopefully we'll have a good show tomorrow. But let's see. But guys, quickly let us use 1 minute each to close so we can leave. So we're out of time. That's why you say I've been going all the time because we have to go now, guys. So let me
take my 1 minute. quickly and talk about the current situation unfolding at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The president made some announcement yesterday on certain ambassadorial roles. I thought most of the name hearing former ambassador to Nigeria and former president of the University of Liberia, our own great alma mater, Professor Ambassador Hassan Conte, coming to the U.S. as ambassador designated, former foreign minister, former national security advisor, and former ambassador to the UN, also coming back to the UN, Louis Brown as our ambassador to the UN and permanent mission. A lot of names. We have our own Ali Sila, former charge. He worked our mission in Qatar, now going to Senegal as the ambassador. And we have one of our own from the University of Liberia, Tiko Yole, going to Paris, one of the A mission, Paris, as ambassador, extraordinary and plenipotentiary. Also,
here Fadiga be working.
Where Fadiga going?
If Fadiga going as press attaché to Paris, go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. He'll be the press attaché there. Okay, yeah. So other very major positions.
Fadiga who?
Hassan, eh?
That the one I was dismissed?
No, Hassan was dismissed.
Oh, the other one. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, these are major ambassadorial roles that the president did some appointment, and I think all of the names we hearing about, particularly these are great men and women that were appointed, also going to London. London is going to be the United Kingdom is going to be Ambassador Genevieve Kennedy. She served before. These are consummate diplomat that been in the service of quite some time. Served in Ghana as the ambassador. Then we have Ambassador Musuru, she served in Ghana before, in Sierra Leone before, she going back to Ghana. These are strategic appointments. I hope in the circle of diplomacy, we have the circle of understanding. I hope these are people that I work with. I know most of them, and I believe that they're going to serve the country adequately. So I just want to take the time to close, commend the president for those appointments. These are appointments that will do appropriate representation on behalf of the people of Liberia. I thought to make some point on that. Thank you and have a wonderful evening, guys.
Good. Thank you.
All right, you want me to close? All right, let me close. I got to run here. So that's on my good side today. I was saying you're at University of Liberia to teach. Okay, you're a professor there. You're going back in government. But let me tell you something. When I hear names that Louis Brown is a disgrace to Liberia, okay? Okay, let me real here. Listen to me. Let's be real here. Other people went to school. Other people went to school too. Okay, the Abraham Bamagera school that not only Louis Brown, the only person can work in foreign service. All these people need to retire. Why you keep recycling people like dirty unawares? You take a person for the other person they pay that one of the other, but Susan Boga is a complete disgrace to leadership. Why can't you look for young, newer people and give them the opportunity to do something different? What did Louis Brown do there when you were there? Honor Weir, Honor Ellen, Honor Taylor. Did Liberia GDP go up? Did the US government give Liberia billions of dollars or any other country? So this is the problem in Liberia. They take the politics like a business. Okay, there are many, and I can promise Liberia, you want to see one person heading any major ministry that has served before in our ministry, there will be completely new faces. So those people there who don't vote for me, but there will be new young people will go to the university, will go around the world, and will get people who can come and prove their talent. That will be the end of this recycle nonsense in Liberia in 2029. God's willing, I win the election. Thank you very much. Good show. Robert, lastly, like I said, the issue here, we should be beyond it by now. Liberia does not belong for one person. People should serve and move on to other things. There's no need to hold on to power. I know who they will not be asking to hold on to power because I got so many other things I want to do in my life. I want to write books. I want to serve at the African Development Bank. So I'll be happy to do my job and get the heck out of there. Like I did my job in corporate America, and I'm so happy I'm done with it, and I'm living my very peaceful life today. Life, you must change. You must move to different things. That's the beauty of life. And government shouldn't be an exception. Thank you very much. I love you guys. Thank you.
Listen, great show. But I will reiterate the importance of standing on the side of the law. I will always stand on the side of the law. In any case where the law, or those who are supposed to enforce the law, or those who are supposed to interpret the law, uh, um, you know, make a decision that contravene that, then we will stand on the right side of history. But I think that the speaker is doing an honorable thing here. The speaker is doing an honorable thing, and I think he should be commended by all well-meaning Liberians, especially law-abiding citizens. It is a disgrace that we have lawmakers who have refused to just do the right thing with regards to the law. Politics is one thing. The Constitution and the law is another thing. And those who refuse to be guided by the Constitution and the law, especially in public service, should be frowned on and must not be supported. I will never, in good conscience, support anything that does not align with the law. And so, if the speaker is listening to me today, I will encourage the speaker, continue to fight on. History will remember you for all of the right reasons on these particular issues. Look, we may not agree with your leadership. I don't think, like I said before, I don't think you've done well, as some of us, like myself, expected you to. I don't think you've stood up to this president. I don't think you've ensured the kind of check and balance. I think Joseph Boaga has gotten it easy, right? And if I had to talk to you about these things, I will be very blunt and candid with you about them. But on this issue about processes, respect for the rule of law, you are doing the right thing here. And all of us, we must commend you for that. I also want to commend the CDC leadership for temporarily suspending those lawmakers that have taken a position contrary to the position of the party on this matter. But I will ask them to go a step further, especially for senior members who have blatantly and publicly disrespected the law and the position of the party in person of Thomas Fala. I think Thomas Fala should be expelled. Thomas Fala should be expelled. And to some of the lawmakers who were on that list and are now making the case that they were only there because of the coalition, guess what? On your certificate, it does not say your party that you now claim to be a member of. It says that you were elected under the umbrella of the Coalition for Democratic Change. And so, yes, you are part of that block. All right. And so, if you want to remove your own name, go and remove your own name. But until further notice, until you go back to seek re-election and it shows your own party and not the coalition, you were elected by that coalition, you're certificated by that coalition, and you must respect the orders of that coalition. And that's what I have to say. But we must learn how to respect the law of Tomalin. As a country, we're so lawless, man. We're so lawless as a people, and we allow our personal sentiments to cloud our better judgment on these issues. Fanatic Kofa is not the best. Trust me. I don't think he's not the best. I will tell him to his face. But on this matter, those lawmakers are doing worse to our country than Fanatic Kofa. He has shown up to work, and I will commend him and all the lawmakers who have shown up to work continuously to do the people's work, and they have been denied the people's job because of 42 disgruntled, lawless bunch who now don't want to work with the speaker, but they refuse to follow the process. I can't support that. We must commend Fanatic Kofa and his folks. I think those guys have been on the side of the law. They have exhibited what it takes to be lawmakers, and we may have our disagreement with them, but they on this particular matter, they are on the side of the law, and we must commend them for that. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you for the day.
So thank you, Tomalin. So let me appreciate all our viewers and followers from the various social media. I think this issue, like Tomalin said, is trending. Yeah, it should remain trending, but I think we should take it take it off the show not as a primary issue to discuss. We can probably give it a time, like maybe 30 minutes, and we'll go to other real issues that concern the people of Liberia. But I mean,